All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. I think so. Had a pretty fun week, actually. Been a really good day. Actually, fantastic day. Let me download these videos to the computer so I can show them that way. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. This is going to be pretty much just a chill stream, a free for all open mic. So people come on to tell their encounters if they have some they want to talk about, or if there's any particular discussion topic, cryptid, Bigfoot related. Come on, talk about it and all that. I got some just some random videos to show, really. Not a whole bunch, and we're just gonna chill out tonight. But I am working on a couple things. And whenever I get the chance to do it, I'll, not when I'm not working and doing other stuff. But I just want to say God is amazing and stuff, and God bless each and every one of you, and hopefully everyone is doing okay. And we're gonna have a pretty good show tonight. So let me download some clips. Looks like gotta do a couple things, but yeah, actually had a pretty good day and went out and had a nice score of some weights and a barbell curl bar. Nice a nice set of weights along with it for $10, so not too bad. Usually the price of weights and stuff are $1 per pound, so I got it for well under half. Well under half. Under a quarter, all that. So got 50 pounds of weight and however much the bar is. I don't know. I haven't weighed it and stuff because I want to know the bar is I think it's a 25-pound bar, or could be a 20-pound bar, which makes a difference if you're trying to actually figure out the weight you're repping and stuff. So, but hopefully everyone's doing good and stuff. I see Nikki is going to have a awesome show tomorrow, and hopefully I'm actually going to have a guest who we're actually going to have a guest on the Beast System, and hopefully I'm going to have that same guest on here, and we're going to talk about very similar things that Nikki's show is about. And been trying to plan this for a couple of days and stuff, but we're going to have him on the Beast System show. We're on Rumble, and then I'll talk to him then, and then pretty sure we're going to have him on this show, and we're pretty much going to have the same kind of show as Nikki, except for this guy's not in the Bigfoot community at all. And it'd be very interesting to get his take on Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and what he thinks, and what's related around the world, and all that stuff. So, all right, we got one of the clips ready to go. I'm still not seeing the last one, and I was pretty much gone all day, so I didn't have much time to do all the videos I was gonna try to do, but that is okay because the link is in chat, so people can come on. Don't be scared. Come and talk about your paranormal, cryptid, or most importantly, Bigfoot related ones. Okay, so that one's still going. We're gonna take a look at this funny clip, and I think it illustrates, just the random shenanigans that can happen when you're out in the wild, out in the wilderness, out in the forest, or even in your backyard. You really don't have to go far to find animals and for shenanigans to happen with those animals. Everyone, we feel like we conquered North America, especially because, we're America and all this, but animals are adapting to humans, and most importantly, it shows the intelligence and survivability of animals when they do adapt, especially when you hear about big cities and coyote populations in the cities themselves, foxes, along with skunks, possums, um, and other types of wildlife that are actually learning to adapt and moving into the big cities and not away from and staying away from, but actually thriving and stuff. And most importantly, thriving usually when people are sleeping and the hustle and bustle of most of the city and kind of the suburbs of the city die down. The coyotes, especially, will patrol and look for your cats and small dogs that are going to the bathroom at night, along with possums and stuff. You'd be surprised how big massive possums will be roaming around after dark in your little down your little streets. All right, so let me pull up this little video file I thought was pretty awesome. Take a look at that. And what we have here is minus the caption and stuff is the shenanigans that can happen randomly out in the wilderness and when you're by animals and they might be cute and fluffy and cuddly. We all know skunks are able to make you stink and smell, but skunks are also pretty ferocious and a little bit goofy sometimes. And as you can see, uh, you know, randomness can happen and stuff. You could be sitting and doing reminding your own business, and that skunk could have came up to you and snapped it and took a bite out of your leg or got onto your arm and stuff, and now you're flailing around and hopefully it's not spraying at the same time because that's a double whammy, right? But this is the stuff that can kind of happen when people, and I would say who usually are the Bigfoot on the brain kind of people who will think, oh, they can speak to animals or they have some psychic connection to the Bigfoot, and that translates to the wilderness and whatever else is out there. I really feel like they are the type of people who would be in place of the deer at these kind of moments. And they're trying to look for Bigfoot, and this is the kind of shenanigans I see them getting into with anything because they're really not properly engaged in the wilderness aspect of being a survivability factor, having animals and stuff that can randomly, even though they're cute, they're wild animals that for some reason uh, will do whatever they want at the time. And when they're not thinking about, most importantly, being on guard and survival and being prepped and ready to go, I feel like this is the shenanigans that they could really get themselves into and really hurt themselves because they're not prepared. They're not ready for a little skunk, let alone a Bigfoot or a bear or wolf or a snake or any real threat that they are really actually going to most likely run into, more so than a Sasquatch, right? Because they can talk to the Sasquatch and it's all good. Sorry. Doing a bunch of things at once and stuff. So I thought this clip was pretty funny, and I really hope that I hope someone joins and clicks the link because I do want someone else to bounce off a little bit. Maybe if Pat's floating around, he can jump on. If he feels like doing a show or talking or all that, I don't know. Maybe he's doing his own show right now. Yeah. All right. Let me get this going. This other one is downloaded. And so pretty much, I just got just these random videos, but Like I said, not really much. So it's going to be a kind of a chill stream. It can go a little bit long tonight. Depends on who joins. If no one joins, all right, get this going, and we'll show this one, which is a clip that I think a lot of people have seen before. Um, so again, this is a clip of this massive wolf. Again, the clip heading is the wolf the size of a horse. This clip has been around for a long time and it's had several different headlines and stuff, but this one is pretty eye catching. All right. So it is a massive wolf, in my opinion. It is actually pretty big size wolf, but it's not the size of a horse, and we can judge that by couple things, mainly by guesstimating, because we don't actually have an accurate measurement of or any object in place that can common sense will tell us, oh, it's about this height. What we have is some shrubbery out there. So you see that shrub bush right there, and that shrub bush is on a hill. And so you got to think, and you look at the mud traction, the terrain and stuff, and you look at the shrubbery and stuff. So right there, that shrub bush, how big do those usually get? Like 2 feet, maybe 3 feet at the most, right? Well, that doesn't look like 3 feet to me. I mean, that little shrub bush and how that's set up, maybe that's 2 feet and it's on a hill. And it's about parallel with its back. So, I mean, I would guesstimate that the wolf's height at its back was probably 3 feet off the ground, which is a big animal. It's a big wolf, but it's not the size of a horse and stuff. Nothing like that makes it seem like it's the size of a horse. And also, we'll play it again. I slow it down at the end. That's my opinion on it. Maybe someone else who would like to join, click on the link, feels different. Maybe they think that it is the size of a horse or it's the size of an elephant. Another thing is that when the video camera is like kind of angled down and stuff, and it's kind of relatively flat. He's obviously in a truck and stuff. But if it was a horse, you know, in my opinion, I think the angle of the camera wouldn't necessarily be needed to point downward, as you, in my opinion, get the sense that the camera angle is kind of leaning towards. And a lot of people have always, thought, oh, well, this is a dog, man. This is a massive wolf. The other massive wolf video that I didn't have ready to go is the one with the dog chases after it, and then the wolf turns around and runs back. That is a big wolf too, but it's not the size of a horse. But these gray wolves and stuff can get 220 pounds, massive. That's heavier than me by a couple pounds. That's a massive animal. And I've had German Shepherds and been around St. Bernards and stuff, which are another big and heavy dogs and stuff. But a 220-pound, wolf is a whole different machine. And that is something that you don't want to, mess with when it's in a crowded environment with a pack at your heels. It's definitely not something that you would want to play games with or try to mind speak to the pack. And some people, I feel would, but luckily, most of the researchers, especially south of Michigan, don't have to deal with the wolves and all that. All right, let me download this last little funny clip. It's funny to us. And then, we're just going to be shooting from the hip. The link is in the chat, so don't be scared. You don't even have to show your face. You can pop on like this, have a random name if you don't even want to have your name, if you want to be completely anonymous, and you can just tell us a ghost story, a Bigfoot story, a cryptid story. Maybe you got some UFO stuff. Let's hear what you got. Okay, should be ready to go. I do not have to work tomorrow, finally, on a Sunday. First Sunday off. So we can go pretty good. So here we have the Predator. Obviously, you can see it. You can see it clearly. It's on camera, right? Come on, let's use our brains here. We're seeing the Predator, and not the one that I put in there. That one, the tree. And people post this, and people believe it, and P for Predator. It's kind of a joke, in my opinion. It's a joke, because this is the lackluster shit that is being spread and passed and okayed by 90% of the Facebook groups, I would say, who are not. Barely part of the community, only engaging in their echo chamber. So not necessarily, in the community and doing shows and engaging with all of us, but echoing in their echo chambers full of this stuff. And so what do you guys think it is? Do you think that's a real Bigfoot? Do you think that's a predator alien? La Chupacabra? Could it be Godzilla? Baby Godzilla, maybe? Oh, well, there you really see it and stuff. In my humble opinion, as a person who actually cuts trees down, there's nothing more to see than a tree falling over a tree with foliage that is falling in the wind. And this is laughable. This is like low IQ. You have to literally drink battery acid to make your brain this kind of dumb to work like this. This is beyond Bigfoot on the brain. This is hopelessness and foolishness. Why can't there be 20 predators or Bigfoots or aliens or what sea serpents in there? It doesn't, It doesn't help. It's frustrating when it's frustrating when you don't see most of the people who present any kind of evidence have any sort of common sense or integrity when they're presenting their own stuff or other people's stuff or engaging and looking at evidence, common sense stuff. Like, it's lacking, and it's frustrating and stuff as a researcher and as a person who actually goes out there and tries to get real evidence. It's really frustrating when you're dealing with you're standing in the line with a bunch of lunatics, really. People who honestly look at that once and see invisible aliens or invisible Bigfoot or elves, you name it. It's an issue because that's not reality. And so they're engaged in a fantasy and they're out there. And then when, Pepe Le Pew comes walking by and goes to chomping or goes to spraying, they're trying to mind speak to the damn thing or ask Bigfoot to help them deflect the stink wave or You know, it's fantasy and stuff, and they're going to get themselves hurt. That's the real issue, is they're going to hurt themselves or others, or they're really going to come in contact with something that they're not ready for. But yeah, that's actually all the videos I had lined up ready to go. Um, just been out and about too much today, and didn't get back in time to fully edit and put some little characters in the videos, because that helps with the copyright and all that good stuff. Even though it's free usage and stuff, because we're making commentary on it and all that, and discussing its relatability to the Bigfoot encrypted related research that we all try to do. Link is in chat. I know we got some people watching. Don't be shy. And maybe you don't even have to have an encounter or be known or be in the community to have your own thoughts and brain and opinion on things. I'm sure a lot of you have watched the show. A lot of you guys have watched other shows and documentaries. So I'm sure you guys have your own particular thoughts and ideas and theories on this subject. And I personally would love to hear that. And I think all the other people would enjoy to hear other people's opinions and thoughts on this matter too. Even if you don't have an encounter, you don't have to have your eggs in this basket to be a part of it and to speak your mind honestly. Because we all have a brain, we all know how to use it. We all have thoughts and our own theories, and they might be different from everyone else, but that's okay, because we all can speak it and stuff. And sometimes I rag on the woo side and stuff, but it's more frustrating because it's harder to prove. Really, it's just harder to prove, and it's more filled with people who are kind of lunatics running the insane asylum, when they're posting garbage and there's nothing to back it up. They're not even trying, and it's fantasy storytelling and make believe on purpose, to the point you really have to try harder to like fake and make believe and believe that crap than to just actually be honest and have integrity and go out there and objectively just film what happens. Because when stuff actually happens out there, you have a real Bigfoot encounter or whatever, you're not going to need to analyze a fucking bush 10 feet away from you that you peed in, that nothing's over there. But after the fact, Bigfoot's there. You're not going to need to do that. And we need to get people away from it. Even though I don't think those the loonies are able to get away from it. They're too ingrained and invested into the fantasy that it becomes their reality, and it's too much. It's just too much. See, if they had pictures like this, to me, this picture taken right here in Michigan in a spot that I've been to, looking for that tree. You have one subject that's on the tree to the left. It's gold, auburn color. And you have one subject to the right at the lower tree, and it looks like it's trying to hide behind a small tree right there. And this picture was taken by a good friend called Val. He's a data miner, ex-law enforcement, 25 years, retired in good standing. And he took this picture. And that subject right there on the tree, in my opinion, the more you look at it and stuff, does have facial features you can clearly tell. Hair hanging off its arm. And that is a pretty amazing photograph. Now, if the people on the woo side or some of these Looney Tunes were getting, anything like this, I would probably shut my mouth a little bit more and have a little bit more respect and look into some of the stuff that they were trying and saying, oh, hey, we're mind speaking to a Bigfoot. I mean, look at the picture that we have of a Bigfoot on a tree and something hiding behind a smaller tree. If they had stuff like this, it would certainly change my mind, and I would be more open to try some of those things. But to me, I just need to test the individual and make sure that they're not lying. And the only way to do that is to be out in the field with them and say, and then their mind speaking to a Bigfoot over there that's on a tree, and me to go walk over there to go flush out the Bigfoot that they're mind speaking to that's behind the tree, right? And if I experience something that it's right there in my face and it's hard for me to dismiss, and they're talking to the Bigfoot, I mean, then there's something, okay? But to me, you're gonna have to take you to the field and you're gonna have to prove it, because otherwise, to me, it's just bullshit. It is just fantasy bullshit. But I will say there are some individuals who I trust, and some people who I have, who mind speak to the Bigfoot, and that scenario played out where the person is mind speaking to the Bigfoot, and my one buddy skeptic goes over there and encounters something. So it makes me question that. I'm actually going to reach out and try to talk to those individuals and maybe set up a part 2, if possible, stuff, because seeing is believing. And if you actually experience it, then I have to come back on here and say, hey, this person was talking to the Bigfoot inside their brain, and we walked up on it, and it was standing there. And then, it did the Bigfoot, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do other than tell you what happened. I mean, that's all I can do, is tell you exactly what happened and how it happened. So, come on, people. You got to join the chat. Jump on, join the show. Don't be scared. Also, if you want to email me encounters or just email me personally, you can contact me right there at Blake4402 Dodge, because I am a Mopar guy. But so, I love the 440 big block motors that they have. They put them in the Chargers and the Road Runners and stuff, and the Daytonas and the Superbirds and stuff. And they're just, in my opinion, I liked them a little bit better than the Hemis and stuff, because being a gearhead and stuff, you bigger bore, a better stroke ratio and stuff, and then you can make them to big stroker motors, and there's all sorts of stuff you can do now. But I added the 2 in there because of the Oldsmobile 442, which was a car model, and also, they had some pretty good engines and stuff. Oldsmobile did, and I owned a couple 350s and stuff, and an old Jetstar 394 block that was heavier than a gorilla's ass. That thing was heavy, massive, heavy. It actually had the it had an extra, basically a casing and stuff for the transmission and stuff. Basically the not flywheel, but I think it's harmonic balancer. No, that might be on the front side and stuff. It's been a while since I've worked on the engines and stuff, but that thing was huge, massive, and I actually broke some bolts off on the engine stand turning it one time. Just snapped some bolts off instantly trying to turn that beast and stuff, and even when it was de-dressed and stuff. So 1,000 pounds of craziness, but sold all those and all that, did all that. Not into that hobby as much anymore, because you buy stuff, and then you want to work on it, then you take it apart, and then it never goes back together as easy or as fast or as cheaply. And then it takes a little while to sell, and then You got to find the right buyer. Um, so so yeah, I used to be a lot more into cars and engines and all that, but yeah. So contact me on there, and also on Facebook and on the Lost Cryptids community group and the Facebook page for the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. You can always like that page and message that if you want to get a hold of me. All right. Well, I could show you some other videos, but the thing when I'm showing on YouTube is sometimes the commercials and all that they don't like it. They don't, and sometimes it's kind of finicky because I've been playing a bunch of videos and it's been okay, but I play random stuff and they don't like particular stuff. YouTube is kind of finicky. But I'm going to reach out to a couple people who are not really in the community itself, but are kind of doing different things. One is doing the kind of cryptid stuff and a little bit more dramatic type of uh, content wise and stuff, kind of over dramatic content wise. I'm trying to reach out. He's kind of a big channel and stuff, so we'll see. But I'm trying to get an interview him and stuff, and pretty much just pick his brain on his style of going about researching this content versus reality, and having where does the integrity fit into that? Where does he want to have the future in the subject, and all that, and see if he takes his stuff seriously, what kind of equipment he has and all that. So I am open into interviewing researchers who want to talk about research and equipment and encounters and stuff, but not just being going back to the encounter show itself, but more or less researchers and what they're doing, what their findings are, equipment that they use, techniques or strategies that seem to be working in their areas. Yeah, I really don't think I'm gonna show much on YouTube. And no one wants to join the chat. No one wants to join the show. Oh man, making me feel all bad and stuff. Make me cry like some people. No, I won't mention. I won't mention that fat tard. We don't need any drama on the show unless someone else brings it on here. I guess then we'll have to deal with it. But that's why the links in the show. Even my even the people who don't like me can come on and talk about stuff. Squatch watchers could come on and defend them, their rock throwing hoaxes and all that. But no, I'm having fun. I'm chilling and stuff, ready for tomorrow. Actually, going to work out after this. I'm excited about that little bit of weight I got, man. It's really awesome. 50 pounds of weight plus the bar for $10 is not bad at all. And the best thing about buying used weight equipment, for the most part, 90% of them, or I would say 80% of the used weightlifting equipment, is really not that badly used, because most people buy the equipment, use it a couple times, maybe a couple months, and then it gets stored and put away and an eyesore. Then they finally get rid of it. and then people who actually love and will use it hop right in when the price is right, because weights are expensive. They're about a dollar per pound at minimum when you buy retail, or if someone knows what they're doing is reselling it, then it's typically about a dollar per pound. Especially if you're buying like Olympic bars and really good equipment too. Um, it can be costly, but you're going to get what you pay for too. I will not cheap out on getting a bench press and stuff like that, or a real curl bar and stuff. I would get something that's a little bit beefier than some of that stuff. Especially the bench press. You want a bench bar that is a Olympic size standard bar, and not one of these little tiny bars and stuff. You don't want that, because the weights and stuff are not really as easy to find, and they're not really, well, they're not metal. Usually most of the time they're plastic, and because of their plastic, usually they're wider and you can't fit as many weights on there. So, and usually that bench press is smaller, so you can't even really have the heavy weights on there. But I've been actually working on a lot more. I'm doing a lot of push-ups, actually, mainly push-ups, and of course just regular tree stuff. And I feel really good, actually, getting really good shape. Gonna get better and better and better and better and better. Might do another couple mile hike and stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be 24 miles again, but I feel like a good strong hike is gonna be coming on here pretty soon, especially with the warm weather. I'll be camping a lot more. Um, got a couple of things planned, actually. Got a couple of things planned. I'm excited. Gonna maybe next week, hopefully next week or the following week, I'm going to be dropping the conference info. Going to be getting the name and the address set up. I'm gonna have the tickets of Ticket Leap set up. I got to update my stuff and set that up. So we'll be presenting the conference here. I'm thinking, I haven't booked anything yet, but I got everything ready to go. And I'm thinking August 31st is looking pretty decent. Because, I kind of still want it to be nice and warm weather. If you have it in September, it gets a little colder, more chance of rain. In October, then it actually, it's anyone's guess on how the weather's going to be. Even though there wouldn't be any bugs, rain, wet weather, that's not fun to camp in. So, it could rain in August too, but I think that's what it's going to be, is August 31st. But I could change my mind and stuff. I was, wanting to push it back a little bit, but it's going to be $30 online, $35 at the door. And there should be enough spaces, should be enough. So we are going to have some advertisement, I believe, at the fairgrounds and stuff. They're going to help advertise stuff. At least last time I talked to the lady and stuff, she said she'd help do all that, and basically put the advertising on their website and all that. So gets a little bit more local buzz, and so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be reaching out for people to speak. I'm going to be speaking, and hopefully, we're going to get, most importantly, more encounters going, more evidence and stuff to showcase. And who knows what's going to happen between now and then when it comes to getting Bigfoot evidence and all that. I'm ready to drop, spending a lot of money. Audio recorder, brand new audio recorder. and then the audio mic setup, which is going to be nice. And then we're going to get the air tags, which I was actually supposed to go and I kind of forgot, but they didn't have. I guess I could have went to Walmart, but I like kind of going to Best Buy. And even though sometimes the people who when you go ask a question, last time I was at Best Buy and I asked this question to this employee, he literally walked up there, he looked down and read the little tag off to me, and I already spent fucking 5 minutes doing that and looking and doing my own thing. If I ask for help, especially when it comes to like a Best Buy or an electronics store, you should at least kind of somewhat know what the product is that you're selling instead of looking at the tag that everyone who walks into the store shopping does. I was kind of hoping for one, a person who could build his own stuff and does his own thing. But hey. So why is everyone so shy and stuff? Y'all a little bit too shy. I know everyone, I don't know if there's this stigma attached to like my show, thinking people, if you come on and stuff, uh, someone else might come on or you might disagree with me and, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty open and stuff, I really don't like going after people or calling out people, but at the same time, I do feel like some of these people that I have called out, they're at the very least, they're making up stuff. They're kind of lying. They're lying to people, and I feel like some of these people have issues. Definitely have issues, and there's a reason why we need to discuss this. It's important, because we're not going to be swimming in the land of fucking make believe and just oh, we'll just do our thing and just allow literally the shit to pile up all around us and we're just swimming through the shit. Like, to me, that's just dumb. It's just dumb and it's not needed and it's extra time wasted instead of real research. I mean, we have thousands of people who, if we could just get them away from constant Bigfoot on the brain and living in true fantasy and you can't really help it sometimes. People have issues and social issues and so it's very complex issue, but we have to talk about this and point this out and logically take a stand. So some people, the fucking bell rings in their head and then they come out of it and they come to our side a little bit more. Any foot step towards our side is beneficial. All right. I don't think anyone's gonna join. You're all chickens. Hope Sandra Piper's doing good and stuff. I know she was still in the hospital. Hopefully she's out. She hasn't been in the chat as regularly as she usually has been. So prayers to her and stuff, please. Hope you're doing good, Sandra. And we all miss you. So when you see this, we're thinking about you. So I'm excited and stuff. I'm excited. I guess I could have went out in the woods today and all that. It was supposed to rain, but it was kind of missed all us. But I did have some running around to do and some shopping, and Not as much garage sailing as I was trying to hope to do, but I did score that weight barbell set, so I'm pretty excited and been repping. I did 5 different movements at 25 reps. Sorry, 12 reps, 5 different exercises, and I'm doing them 5 times. Um, and I have to do 2 more sets before the night is over with. So pretty much, 12 times 5. And then I'm going to try to rep another 12 times 5 out of the 5 sets. So pretty much just get 120 reps for each movement. So there's 5 movements and stuff. So, and actually probably going to do some, I don't know if people want to watch it and stuff, but I'm going to do another 100 push-ups in May challenge. And I might document it a little bit more. And that's going to be pretty much 100 push-ups a day until every day for a whole month. But realistically, you're going to go for until you're about to like injure yourself, because you don't want to injure yourself, but you do want to push yourself. So if someone else wants to try and do this, 4 or 5 days, just don't rip yourself off. And then recovery is at least you can skip a day, because if you're actually going to rip your shoulders out of your socket, you shouldn't continue to do it, right? And cause more injury than beneficial muscle growth. But my plan is to just do 100 push-ups minimum a day, as many days as I can before I feel like I'm going to rip my shoulders apart, and then I'll take a day rest or 2 if needed, and then pump out 100 per day until I rack up basically 30 days of 100 reps, which I know I'm going to be able to do because I do 50 at a time now. And we're going to be pumping them up and doing that, because I really think that one thing the Bigfoot community is lacking is physical fitness, and just having that physicality a part of the research and stuff. A lot of people just, and life is life. I'm not saying I have a 6-pack and stuff either, but you really did have to. You do have to. You can't be a couch potato all year and then go to the Bigfoot festival and then go camping and expect you're going to go hiking 10 miles. It's not going to happen, or you're going to sustain injury, or you're going to feel like crap afterwards because your body wasn't prepared for it. You probably wasn't ready for it. And we need that. And it's something that everyone could do. It doesn't matter what your fitness level is. It doesn't matter, how old you are either. There's stuff that you can do. Minimal movements, stuff with chairs, even to more, advanced level stuff that is really heart pumping. That is, a little bit more for those who are in shape and a little bit younger and stuff. I'll answer your question here in a second, Robert. Doing a bunch of stuff. You're going to have more benefit exercising and pushing yourself in a controlled environment at your house or at the gym, or just in a controlled environment, than to push yourself balls to the walls out on a mountain or in the middle of nowhere, or in the woods and stuff. That's actually not really the place you want to push yourself when you've been sitting on the couch for the last 11 months. You ideally want to work up and train to be able to be better and be more proficient and be fit. Why? So you don't strain yourself. You don't strain your muscles, your ligaments and stuff. because that's what most injuries come from, is ligament damage and overstretching of your muscles, overstretching of ligaments and your toes and stuff, and you're walking nonstop. And you have that movement, that constant movement. And if you're wearing boots and you don't straighten your ankles out, you'll notice it and stuff. And all those get tight, can rip, can stretch, can cramp up and stuff. And if you're not as toned and you're not as strong and your muscles aren't ready for it or not used to it, the amount of damage that you can sustain is going to be a lot more, and it's going to happen a lot faster, and it can happen just easier, randomly. I mean, we've had people walk out of their, little RV, little tow behind camper, pop-up camper. You walk down the steps and you twist a knee and they're out. And it's kind of lackluster, but at the same time, a little bit of weight training, a little bit of exercise, a little bit of squats. You don't need weight. You just use your body weight and stuff. And stretching, is going to do a lot to prevent minor injuries to major injuries. A good example is my dad was in pretty good shape and stuff, and last year he took a hit on a motorcycle. He was in a motorcycle accident. He was on the highway and a truck was weaving in and out, and the truck was going 75 and went back in, past people, shot back into the passing lane and ran right into my dad on the bike. My dad, of course, flew off and thankfully sustained, compared to his life being ended on a highway on a bike like you would normally see. The odds of him, the odds of him recovering and being here today were very minimal that day, but he was very physically fit at the time, and his body took a lot of that brunt force, and in the recovery process ate up a lot of that muscle healing and stuff. A lot of people don't realize that is when you injure yourself, your body takes to heal. Can drain a lot of your stores of energy and muscle. And if you get injured and stuff, you want your body to be as fit as possible so you can recover and even go into surgery and stuff. They can't put you down under and do certain things if you're not physically fit to be able to do that. So it's kind of a joke to think that, people are going to have these beer bellies and sit on their couch, for half a year, and then they're going to go do their Bigfoot shindig that they have every year, and they're going to sit at camp, not go anywhere, and things are magically going to happen. It doesn't work like that. It works like that in fantasy world. And come on, you're not going to be able to walk that distance. And it's just overall, it's going to make your brain sharper. It's been proven. Exercise makes your brain so much better. Everything. It's a no-brainer. It is a passive way. It's not passive because you actually have to work out, but by working out, it will have passive and beneficial effects on your research that you will notice. And it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter. Don't feel like you can't do anything. Don't feel just because you're not strong that you can't work out. It doesn't matter. Start somewhere and just keep with it. And I promise you will see results. But you have to keep at it, because if you quit, that's on you. All right, Robert Dendoven says, I missed last week's show. What issue did you have with Squatch and Holler's video from LBL? He did another video where he went back to that road. He said he saw something. I believe I don't think I have the video up ready to show, but I did show the video where he goes back during the daytime and he's walking there and he's talking about it. I had a problem with what he said. And Robert says, I know I watched all of the Southern Connection, my name for them, shows, and they are not true research channels. I think they are more of a community group of like-minded people. Yeah. Yeah, the community of the good old boys who spectacular things seem to happen. In that video, I don't think I have up. Let me see if I have it and on the computer still. I don't think um I don't think I erased it from the downloads, but it's gonna be behind some stuff. Let's see, last week. Was it pictures? I think that's a picture, maybe not. Give me a second. But basically, I had a problem with what he said describing the encounter that just didn't make sense, and some it just didn't make sense. A lot of it didn't make sense, and there was a couple things to question, and just why. It's a simple common sense of I'm gonna try to find it real quick because it would be easier to show it and then go over it than not to. The Southern Connection. Yeah, that's a good name for it because there are a lot of Southern guys. And okay, and my one thing with Spencer is so Mark Newbell and their group long time ago when Spencer Jameson, I believe is his name, started. He's part of that group. Started coming into the limelight. He presented some audio evidence. Well, Mark presented it for Jameson, but said it was from Jameson. And it was supposed to be Bigfoot or whatever. That was the only time it was ever discussed, ever shown. Spencer Jameson has his own channel now. I've never seen that clip on it. I've never seen him talk about it on there like that. It was kind of a one and done thing on a random Facebook post a couple years back that I don't know if it was legit. Cough. Hopefully that mute button worked. It was kind of a one and done thing. It was, to my opinion, it felt like it was like an introduction for Jameson to come into like the Beast TV crew community and like, oh, he got something. And slowly but surely now we see, I don't know, I think he hosted one of these events and, he's a part of it. He's doing his own stuff and all that. And to me, it was kind of like a reverse Ivan Mark syndrome where he might have started hoaxing and then got into it and is like trying to do it the right way now, kind of a thing. But at the same time, when you're running with the Southern Connection, that's a good term, with Mark Newbell, Larry, and Bama. Bama rubs me the wrong way too. I don't know. I think he's full of shit, honestly, by the way he presents himself and talks. Nice guy. I'm sure he gives you the shirt off his back. But it's a weird thing that the same person who will do anything for you, give your shirt off his back, gas money, a ride, whatever, is lying to you or is making up bullshit to play, social sim. I don't know. It's weird, but that's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my radar detection is a little off because the problem is there's just a lot of people full of bullshit and they have certain synchronicities and certain signs and tells and similarities that, it's kind of like, once I start hearing that kind of same bullshit or mentality or pattern, basically, it's like, okay. And then you watch, which I haven't really done a lot. I haven't had enough time to listen to stuff and watch. And, you got to watch, if someone calls someone else a hoster, you want to observe and try to figure out in your own reasoning and way that why and if they are and stuff. Let me get to this video. I'm getting distracted. It's not where it's at. No, that's all right. That was that one. And I did have audio from Tyler that I still haven't gone through and stuff. There's a couple wood knocks on there from the last time we were out with everyone that I haven't gone and done. And there's 3 hours of that I have to manually listen to, because there is a lot of bugs and artifacts and stuff that is making the spectrogram have constant hits that looks like something is there. So I have to manually look at it, and I don't have that video anymore. Unless it's on StreamYard here and I'm looking at the wrong spot. I don't think so. Maybe. Yep. Okay. So here's the video. I'm about to play it. I just want you to listen to what he says in this clip. And then I'm going to give you my opinion of what I think. And that's pretty much it. You guys can think what you want. I'm going to think what I want. And I do, more observation is needed, and to figure out what is truly going on. Let me take a look at this comment from Robert. He says they do tell a lot of stories without photo evidence, but some of it is while they were hunting and not worrying about Bigfoot. Yeah, I think the problem with the Debbie porch and Debbie, and the reason why I called out her was because of the extreme stories with funky audio evidence or lack of evidence most of the time. 99% of the time, there's zero evidence. And the evidence they do show is very lackluster, coyote-ish. Deb, 3 out of 5 audio, I want to say, was figured out to be faked, hoaxed audio. It's not even hoaxed audio. It's just she took the audio of someone else and used it as her own and claimed it was hers. And finally got called out. And we went through her defense and tore it apart in her own words and everything else. In the couple of videos that we actually did around the Christmas time. And so now just, once you look at one, you start looking down the line. And I think that there's a pattern. I don't know if they're doing it all together on purpose and knowingly talk about it, but there seems to be a pattern with the Southern connection, guys. All right, so let's take a look at this video, Den, and then I'll talk to you about it.
We're about to leave the LBL, but I'm gonna check out a spot here. We saw something with red eye shine the other night. It was canine, big, like wolf size, and it was definitely canine. But when we come around this curve up here, the lights hit it, and when it ran behind that tree, and it ran off this way. I don't know which way it went. Here, I thought maybe it was going to cross this road, so I whipped in, and I didn't see it, and Heather saw, she said what she described as a vapor cross the road, like a wavy vapor about the size of a dog crossed from here to here. I didn't see it. I was looking, for what I saw. But the way it moved, I'm not going to get into it right now. But I've talked to Bart Nunley and some other people that research up here all the time. And I told them that I would come. I didn't tell anybody the exact spot. I told them the area. So I'm going to look for, I don't think the ground is going to be good for tracks.
So yeah, I'm a little confused about what he's talking about. I'm not quite sure. Was he driving? Was he in the passenger? I thought he said he's seen red eye shine, and it went one way. He's driving. His wife sees it, and then he's he lost it. He's looking this way, or he's looking this way. He doesn't really know. He's not going to talk to you about the details right now at the exact moment. He's right there at the fucking spot, presumably making a video to tell you about the details of the encounter. That doesn't make sense to me. And another thing that doesn't make sense is, I had this thing happen. I'm going to go right back to the group of researchers, right? Big names. I'm going to tell them that this just happened, but I'm not going to tell them where it happened. And we're not going to go right to that spot right exactly after it happened with equipment and stuff to possibly cast footprints and basically have the researchers actually there. No. He's not going to tell anyone where it happened at. He's going to go out there the next day and shoot a video, and we should watch it again. I guess, hey, just listen to what he says. He starts describing the encounter. He seems to have trouble just figuring out the details. He see, his wife's seen a vapor, but then when he starts to try to, it's almost like he needs to stop telling you what's happening so he can, write up a story and then memorize it and read from it and have everything together. And instead of telling you, well, I seen a blue leprechaun run out of there, and then the next time he's going to say, no, it was a purple leprechaun that ran out of there, type of thing. That's my opinion of it. That's the feeling I get from that. We'll watch it again. Just listen to his words. Listen how he describes this. Just think common sense logically. As a research team, right? As a person who's researching out there, and they had what? I'm not sure if this was the same Southern Connection group, because this was one with the Bartonelli, and which is Inhumanoids, and this was with he's a really nice guy, CNA Dogman. Oh, I can't remember his name right now. I'll look him up. Martin Groves, I think. Dennis, I want to say. Dennis, and anyways, so I'm not sure if that was the Southern Connection group with them, because I know the Sawdust Beast crew and that particular guy, Squatch and Holler, they were part of the Southern Connection group, but they were supposedly had like 120 people that showed up there. Not all of them researchers, but if you have an encounter with the supposedly red eye shine of dog man, whatever, and you have 120 something people to choose from, or 50 people to choose from, why won't you tell them where it happened? Why won't you go back with that as soon as it happened? Go to camp and say, hey, mother effers, this just happened. Grab your effing equipment. Let's go back out there and go scout the woods. So let's take a look at this again. And just think common sense.
We're about to leave the LBL, but I'm gonna check out a spot here. We saw something with red eye shine the other night. It was canine, big, like wolf size, and it was definitely canine. But when we come around this curve up here, the lights hit it, and when it ran behind that tree and it ran off this way. I don't know which way it went. Here, I thought maybe it was going to cross this road. So I whipped in and I didn't see it. And Heather saw, she said what she described as a vapor cross the road, like a wavy vapor about the size of a dog, cross from here to here. I didn't see it. I was looking, for what I saw. But the way it moved, I'm not going to get into it right now. But I've talked to Barton Nunley, some other people that research up here all the time. And I told them that I would come. I didn't tell anybody the exact spot. I told them the area. So I'm going to look for, I don't think the ground is going to be good for tracks.
All right. So again, maybe he's seen something first and then he drove and lost it. And his wife seen the vapor across the road. And then he was looking over there and the movement. But then he can't really tell you he doesn't want to tell you the details. He can, but for some odd reason in that particular video, when he's on site the day after, he decided to, or he can't think and process of what happened. And so he doesn't want to tell you, and he doesn't. And then again, you go and tell the Barton Nelly. So if you're not including the Beast Crew, I'm not sure if it was the same big shindig together, because I think, again, it was Barton Nelly and the Inhumanoids camp out with the Dogman crew with I'm about to look it up. I don't know if they were a separate group camp out thing and a separate date compared to Beast TV, Spencer Jameson, or however, whatever, which way. Squatch and Holler, Bama, and that crew. I'm not sure if it was one big thing, because like I said, I heard there was like 120 something people over there. Ron Moorhead was over with the Inhumanoids. It was Ron Moorhead, the Inhumanoids, Bart Nunley, Martin, a Bigfoot or a Dogman researcher, and then but a good guy, good buddy. What's his name? Go to his group. Go to his Bigfoot group. That'd be easier, probably. I always see it, but it's all right. Give me 1 second. But anyways, they had a separate thing. Okay, so this was not. So yeah, there was a whole nother with the Ron Moorhead thing. They had their own incidents that happened, supposed audio that they got. Okay, so it was Martin Groves. It was Daryl Denton. This is the guy I'm trying to remember. Daryl Denton's a really nice guy. And, good, honest guy. And I do believe that he's seen a Dogman. But, and Bartonelli, Ron Moorhead, that group, they rented a cabin out. They had a separate LBL thing going on, separate incidences. So that's why I was kind of confused. Like, man, who was all involved in this? But because, interestingly enough, you had two separate get-togethers happening relatively. I think it was about the same month, or within 2 weeks of each other. I want to say I'm not quite 100% sure. Maybe it was a month after. But both supposedly went to the LBL in different spots, and both supposedly had successful encounters with something. If Pat was here, he'd say, "What are the fucking odds of that?" Well, what are the odds of that, right? And what could cause both groups to encounter something? So the Southern Connection group with Squatch and Holler, I mean, that encounter with Squatch and Holler I find is bullshit. But the way he describes it, he's seen the red eye shine. Okay, then he lost it. Okay, he's driving, and then his wife's seen the vapor across the road, which could be fog or whatever. it was the vapor, the shape of the dog, canine, or whatever. Okay, cool. And then he's looking over here. He lost it. He doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at. He was about to describe the movement, then he can't. He doesn't want to. So to me, as a researcher, as a person who's thinking, if I had experienced that, I would be blabbering my mouth even more than I do on the shows, nonstop telling you details after details and analyzing and thinking about it and talking about it and wanting to discuss about it and to communicate. And then, most importantly, bring all the mother effers who are in camp with equipment over to the spot to have a potential another encounter and resident evidence that's left behind. It's a no-brainer. But you have people who are not researchers, obviously, people who are, it's entertainment, it's content creation. It doesn't really fucking matter because it's an excuse that I've heard from Mark Newbell. Well, we don't really take it that seriously. It's like, you're not even doing it half-assed. Why are you even doing it? The glorification of the friendship of going to camping and stuff. You can do that fucking area. Why are you trying to present Bigfoot evidence that's coyotes and stuff? Why are you trying to be more than you are? You see Mark Newbell. He's in great shape for being as old as fucking he is. I hope I'm in that shape or better. I'm not quite sure if that's natural or not, but teach their own. And I think that's just it's a symptom of it, the overall thing. It's just if you're a fake ass person who does fake ass stuff and you have to be something you're not on here, you constantly have to do that. And everything's Bigfoot. Patrick Vaughn. Patrick Vaughn's audio, clearly a coyote. And Mark Newbell's expert opinion for his many years of audio work doing this, it's from an unknown animal species. It's a joke. I question that, and I question other people who Mark sends the audio to, and they come back as whatever. I question that. Question the professionalism. It makes me really think that a lot of these experts, supposed experts, who even are trained and have degrees and stuff, it's almost like that shit doesn't matter because people can be wrong. The human error of things, or the human persuasion, I should say. Human persuasion can get a lot of people and make you have biases. So we're at an hour and 20 minutes. Still, no one wanted to jump on the chat and stuff, but that's 100% okay. You guys don't have to. I will say that I don't think I will go longer by myself than 2 hours. So if someone wants to jump on, they can jump on. And talk about whatever and stuff. Any more questions? We can talk about that stuff. I don't have any more videos ready to go. Maybe next week. Hopefully get this guest on another 2 weeks. Get that conference rolling for you guys so you guys can come to the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference, because I seen a wolf cross the road on all fours, and then that fucker got up on 2 legs and ran across the field like a person. He stood 6 foot tall. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to tell you guys, but that's what happened. I used to think, like Nikki was saying on her show last night, I used to think it was baboon-faced Sasquatches or elongated snout looking baboon-faced Sasquatches. Until seeing is believing, until you see it. And then you're left wondering and scratching your head thinking, well, shit. I guess there really is that stupid ass term, dog man. There are things out there, and there are more things out there. But truly, seeing is believing, and that's why the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference is the name of the conference and stuff, because as much ridicule as I get and I'm going to get for Dogman in the name, that's what I've seen. So it's here in Michigan. I know I've encountered other things, and there's weird things. There's a lot of weird things about this earth that we don't understand yet. And there's so many still mysteries, from UFOs or UAPs that they're calling it, to submersible UFOs and paranormal. There's all sorts of stuff. One video clip that I was going to have but didn't have ready to go was the sea serpent or sea monster, lake monster sighting by a couple on a kayak in Ontario. And it's actually pretty interesting evidence, because you do see ripples of the water moving across the water in a way that is not natural. And these people are freaking out a little bit. And in my opinion, really good evidence. I just didn't have it ready to go. So, and I'm not going to show it on other people's channels, because sometimes YouTube doesn't like that. YouTube prefers if I copy it and put little imagery on it to be able to freely use it and discuss it and talk about it like we do normally. Pat, you want to come on? The link's in chat. We can strum up something and talk about whatever you want. I actually would like to get you and Jeff Hardy on, talk about a little bit about the Bigfoot population and all that. Or whatever and stuff. Or maybe next time and stuff. I don't know. I'm relaxed, having fun. Excited for tomorrow. Been doing good. Things been going good and stuff. And I have to thank God for that. It's the only person I have to thank, because I have been praying and things have been being answered. So I hope all your prayers are going to be answered. And if they're not right away, then please have faith and patience that things will work out how they are supposed to and will. But you got to keep that faith. It is a relationship that you have to work towards, like all real relationships. But the rewards are definitely worth the struggles that everyone faces. So I'm just very joyful and eager to see how this year plays out, and what all brings, what all the evidence brings and stuff for not only the Lost Cryptids community, Cryptids Conservatory, but the cryptid community and the Bigfoot community itself too. So I'm excited, because I have a feeling good things are about to happen for us, for other people, and I'm excited, man. I really am. So I am excited. I got some ideas. I got the game camera set up. My old one got a little corrosion in the batteries thing. I wasn't able to fully get that operational. I'm hoping to scrape up a crap more, spend another hour on it, scrape off all the terminals and the where all the corrosion is, get those terminals working. And I got also some older ones and stuff, but they like this old Scion or Sun is not a little bit too old. It's not working properly and stuff. I'm not sure if the batteries basically it's saying the SD card is constantly full, even with the brand new SD card. I'm trying to figure out if I could factory reset it or dissect it, take it apart, and tinker around a little bit. Sometimes I like to tinker around with old junk and figure out how they use some stuff. But I was actually going to try to mess around with the IR and maybe take the filament out and stuff and some of the stuff that Doug Hayek was talking about in the episode a couple episodes ago. Put some trackers in them and stuff, but I got the one that works. Another one I got to test for different batteries. But yeah, even on this brand, this a newer one, you do see. I don't know if you guys can probably see it on the camera, but like Nikki's show when she was talking about the game cameras, excellent show. You do see that there's that little red piece in there. It flips up and down, it switches, and it clicks. And those are actually a lot louder than you would think. It almost sounds like that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's that little clicking sound. So it's no wonder that animals can sense game cameras. They look at them, they can smell the plastics, in certain light spectrums. They might even glow, supposedly in the UV spectrum. And when, you put game cameras out with chimpanzees, especially, they avoid them. The chimpanzees avoid game cameras, and it takes a very long time for them to. It's been a long time since I've listened to that documentary, but I do know that they at first extremely avoided the game cameras. And that could just simply be the reason they see the game cameras on the trees. It doesn't look natural. It's easily able to be spotted, and they steer clear away from them. And they could observe a deer or animal walking through and hear the clicking, see the lights and stuff, because most of these LEDs and stuff, will glow red and stuff and have the IR light glowing at the same time. So if they can see in that night spectrum a lot more than us, they might be able to see the IR light itself. But certainly you can see when most of them, when they glow red, you can visibly see it out there. A human can see it and stuff. So they might not know exactly that it's taking pictures, but I'm sure, can understand cause and effect. So if something walks in front of this thing in a certain direction and the thing starts to clicking, it starts lighting up, it starts doing something, but that's all it does. I'm sure that they can understand that it is doing something, not physically, because nothing physically happens. But it's been decades and decades since game cameras have come out, and they've never really caught them on camera. So even though I'm sure they've understand and know nothing physically happens, they still instinctively avoid game cameras, or they know what they do. Super high intelligence. They read people's minds, whatever. They know what game cameras are. Robert says, I kind of think if there are Bigfoots in an area where someone puts out a camera, the Bigfoots may be watching them put them up the whole time. That is correct. And we have Squatch Talk here. How's it going, Pat?
Hey, buddy. What's up?
No, just chilling tonight and stuff.
Yeah. I like the last video you played there of the I guess it was in the LBL.
Yep, with Squatch and Holler. Yep.
My favorite place to talk about. I guess, I don't know, I guess he came around the corner and saw a raccoon or something.
Red eye shine. Canine. He for sure it was canine. He said it was for sure.
For sure.
But then
zero evidence.
I don't know. He doesn't get a story right.
No, he's for sure provided zero evidence, right? So he's for sure narrative, zero evidence. Okay.
Well, not even that, because when he's about to try to describe the movement he's seen, he stumbles, struggles, and then he flat out says, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the details of the sighting I just had last night in the video I'm making to talk about the encounter I just had last night.
Well,
it makes no sense.
Well, of course, it makes no sense. It's absolute nonsense. It's fucking narrative-driven bullshit. That's what it is.
But you go tell it to your best friend, and then it's like, oh, he's my friend. I believe him.
Yeah.
Even though he won't take me over to that fucking spot. The whole reason why we're here, some of these people drove hundreds of miles, maybe thousands of miles, spend a lot of money. And when the opportunity
true.
comes, that jackass won't even tell anyone.
Maybe
That's research.
Maybe that shouldn't be your best friend. My best friends are based on anything but Bigfoot and Dogman in the LBL. Like, are you kidding me? Nothing but. So my best friends have nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah. And there was two groups at the LBL. There was the Southern Connection with the Beast TV crews, Squatch and Holler, some of their friends, and they were successful, right? But then you had
were they
the other? Well, yeah, they had activity, and Squatch and Holler seen that canine with red eye shine, and his wife said a vapor went across the road in the shape of a canine.
Ghost dogs.
You have them encountering stuff, and then you had a different group with Ron Moorhead and Bartonelli of Inhumanoids and Martin, and they were successful, right? They had audio supposedly captured.
Yeah.
And I think they were a couple weeks apart, relatively,
like
I
recently.
guess, different spot. Yeah. Different spots.
Yeah.
All at the LBL. Both successful.
Pete is very unhappy, by the way. He's disagreeing. He's saying I was not there. And he's the ultimate dog man, obviously. Come here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on two different groups? One having 125 people, maybe, or 100 people there.
They said about 100 people, right?
With the Sawdust Beast guys set up, yeah.
Like roughly
100, 125 people.
Ballpark at 100 people, let's just say.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
That's a big camp out.
Yeah. So I saw a little bit of that recap in Spencer's show. Whatever that is, I can't remember. Yeah. Wow, so 100 fucking people went into the LBL, a 280 square mile area, surrounded by water, and a legitimate inland peninsula. It really is, like technically speaking, completely surrounded by water. And control burns have been going on for 2 or 3 weeks now there. So you got like, what, 10, 15 guys walking through the woods, doing control burns. 100 Bigfooters show up. We have Bigfoot activity here in this tiny little area. Oh, and by the way, 1.5 million people go to that fucking area every year. That averages out to 4,000 people a day. 4,000 fucking people a day.
Oh, give or take, but even still, that's a lot. Even if it was half that.
Even now, it's more legit to say, there's at least 1,000 people camping. Like in April, there's 1,000 people camping in this 280 square mile area where they've been doing control burns. And there's 1,000 fucking people camping 280 square miles. But Bigfoot came to you. How's that
and
possible?
Only you. And the other Bigfoot group that was there, I'm guessing at a different spot. I don't know if oh, we lost Pat. I guess that was Pat. I didn't know if it was me or if that was Pat. I was just saying, and the other group that was there, I think they had a group of at least 10, 20 people. I'm not quite sure, but supposedly they had success there too. What are the odds of, in my opinion, it's not impossible, but at the same time, stuff doesn't automatically happen. You can be in a prime spot and everything works, but if they're not there, they're simply not going to be there. And if, there's a dozen other campers this way and a dozen other campers this way, and they're not Bigfooters and stuff, why are they picking you in each and every time? And if it literally is being that way, then how and why do they know? Squatch talk.
I'm back in pizza parking. Yeah, so where we left off, sorry. You were like, and only to you. So this huge area, I mean, but small area actually. It probably has 1,000 of the people on it that night, and 100 Bigfooters. Really? Bigfoot happened to be on that island, peninsula. Sorry. And how is that even possible to begin with? Blows my mind. When you start looking at the population of the counties in the surrounding area, it's very flat.
Well, it's not just Bigfoot; it's Dogman too.
Well,
Because these people encounter Dogman there too. I would say the Bartonelli group, that they were more of a Dogman group, but still, Squatch and Holler seen something. So not only is Bigfoot there, but you have a population of Dogman.
Thousands.
Is it one Dogman, one Bigfoot, and they're just
1,000% bullshit. 1,000% bullshit. So the Dogman thing is the easy thing to fall back on and go, okay, this is all made up. People are making shit up. Yeah. Like,
except for I seen one. I seen a wolf cross the road. It got up and ran on its feet. So I don't even know if you heard that, Pat. I'll just wait till you come back on. So there he is.
Yeah,
I seen a dog man cross the road. It got up and started running like a person. So I know there's stuff out there right, but like, not everyone and their fucking mom is seeing this thing or seeing things like that, and not as regularly and not at a scheduled time where they pretty much every time they plan.
I would disagree. I would just simply say there is no Dogman. They would have been killed a long time ago. There's no way that a decent human being armed would ever look at something like a Dogman and not fucking shoot it in the fucking face. No way. Absolutely not 100%. Like, most country boys would absolutely end this thing's life. That hasn't happened. Yeah. Therefore, they do not exist. Also, there's no impact on population. So we do not have wolves in the South. Yeah. If we had wolves in the South, we would, like, even all the experts, all the wildlife management, like people, even in government.
There you go again, Pat. You're leaving us. He'll be back. I seen something, man. I seen a wolf cross the road and it ran.
And like, my internet is just fluctuating all over the place.
Yeah.
Even all those people would absolutely realize the biological impact of fucking wolves, just wolves in the South. much less a dog man. Like that's like, I mean, obviously they're canine fucking like clearly they're predators. They're gonna fucking kill deer. They're gonna whatever rabbits,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, it's so silly. It's like if there was a dog man, it would basically be saying like we're looking at a population that we didn't even know was here. What the fuck's going on? Like head scratching shit. Um,
Exactly.
and
Uh,
not to mention like being on stuck on a fucking peninsula of the LBL. Like it's absurd.
oh,
No such thing.
Dogman can swim. Didn't you know that?
No. Like canines can't swim very good, man.
So, what I physically seen, it was a wolf on all fours, a natural wolf in front of my car
In Michigan,
in
where
Michigan,
wolves can be.
where wolves can be, and
Okay.
and then it stood up and started running like a person. And then, I would say
Well, I
if
can't
it never
explain
it, if it never got up, if it never did that, I would say a natural wolf was out of place in Lower Michigan and ran across the road. But the thing got up, and the
well,
thing wasn't like a werewolf, and it
maybe he's
wasn't like.
circus dog G, man.
I mean, to
Like,
me, like
you know,
maybe it's natural adaptation of overhunting, and I don't fucking know.
no,
I mean,
it's unexplained.
so I
Whatever
do
the
think
fuck you saw, dude, is unexplained.
so. There's stuff out there, right? But like, not
It's
all these
it's
people are seeing it. Not that massive population, and they have red wolves down the south, right? An endangered
yeah,
species of red wolves that are very smaller than gray wolves. And so when
yeah,
you have
yeah, yeah.
Hellbent Holler saying they seen a massive gray wolf, I mean,
No.
that's not really possible. Maybe a coyote, maybe a rare red wolf, which would be awesome.
Well,
But
they're okay, but they're
you
just full of
know,
shit. Like, I'll stop you right there. When you say Hellbent Holler said, I go dot dot dot. They're full of shit.
I actually
There's
have been looking at some of their videos, and
yeah.
yeah, I've noticed that.
No,
Like
no, not noticing it. They're full of shit.
well, they did
They're
capture something.
fictional.
They had some eye shine of a canine. I'm assuming it was a coyote. They were claiming it was a massive gray wolf, which I call bullshit
Okay,
on. But
look, they're a fictional channel.
some
Like
of the other
I'm not.
stuff.
Yeah, there is no other stuff. Everything they do is bullshit.
Well,
Okay.
I try to come at it as
Yeah. I don't.
prove it to be
I don't.
bullshit. I know.
I look at the people that say they find a cult in the woods that involves children. They don't call the sheriff's department.
Yes.
Right
Yeah.
then and there, you lose me. You're full.
You had to say it, Pat. We lost you. I feel that. I feel what Pat is. And it's frustrating too because the Hellbent Holler tries to present themselves as I don't know, researchers who are jumping into the fray. And that's imaginary.
Yeah, fuck. Fuck.
I
Sorry,
did
bro.
watch their the tree jumper video they have. I think I
Oh,
have it right here. Let me play it.
yeah. Play, please do.
I think I have it. Let me
When it's just like
hope.
they caught something up in the tree. So dumb.
Oh yeah, right here.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, so you have to unmute yourself. Right there. Right there, if you can't tell. Right there. So look, it's a leaf. If you guys can't tell, it's a leaf on a tree, and as the camera's moving, clearly the leaf is being suspended in the air and it's moving and it's jiggling and it's a fucking leaf. And to look around the forest, it looks like they're around pine trees and stuff, right? Which means that pine trees don't have I didn't mean to do that, Pat. You gotta unmute yourself. Pine trees don't have any branches to fucking swing off of,
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's total bullshit.
it's a
Obviously,
leaf.
it's
And
obviously a leaf.
so
But
I try.
they didn't go down that road. They basically
It,
said it ain't no leaf. That's what they said.
if they
Yeah.
were real researchers with integrity, they would try to go about analyzing that a little bit differently instead of
But they're
claiming
not.
it's a tree jumper.
But
And
exactly.
there's
But they're
nothing in the
not.
video that shows that. If there was oak trees, if they looked like there's massive branches to like support a Bigfoot,
Yeah,
I
they're
would say
not. They have no
you have
integrity.
little pine tree branches that will break under
Look,
half a human's weight.
all that they do, and I'll be honest in saying this, is that all that they do is the side hustle for what their YouTube channel is, which is bullshit. It's all fiction, and it's a side hustle.
Yeah.
It makes them extra money, you know. And you know what? That's not illegal. It's
No,
not.
I mean,
It's not. It's not illegal.
technically no. I mean, it's
You know, but
in a way though, it's fraud.
it is like, God, man.
It's not
It-
illegal, but it is
But
kind of
let
it
me
is
ask
like
you
fraud,
this.
especially if you're getting donation and money and
And
you're saying it's for
I
the research and it's for
I
equipment, and then you're just acting. I mean,
I agree with you, but are Star Wars movies fraud? Is Avenger movies fraud? Is that fraud? Like to bring
well, I
fictional
mean,
content forward? Where
George
you're
Lucas isn't making YouTube videos asking for donations
true,
and
true.
going out there and presenting real Star Wars evidence of
No,
reality.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, it's
So,
kind of hard.
like,
It's
yeah. So
when people present
yeah,
reality
yeah.
and they're faking it and they're getting money, it is kind of fraud. I mean, they might not charge people to go out with them and stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not illegal
mean,
yet.
it's definitely not illegal. But like when you bring up fraud, that's where I kind of like everything gets convoluted with
It
me.
does, yeah.
I'm like, is it fraud? Like, do I want to accuse these people of fraud? It's bad enough that I'm saying they're fictional. Like, like just for me to say they're fictional I get pushback from that,
Right.
right? So to accuse them of fraud, like, do I really want to swim down that
It's a
path?
big leap.
At, because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care. I called it out for fiction. So wherever it goes from there is where it goes from there. You know, I called it out for fiction. So if you think that, if you want to go into the waters of fraud, fine. The problem is that like people are either going to recognize it as fiction or not. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so it really doesn't matter if it goes down to the fraud level or not. Once they recognize it's made up and these people are full of shit, they're just creating content, they're adding audio in, they're setting up little, spots and narratives and all this stuff. You either realize that or you don't. So it doesn't matter if it's fiction or fraud. Like,
Right.
it doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it's. I mean, it's not true. I guess true fraud. I guess would be if someone, not particularly them, just drain someone of their whole bank account or retirement funds and stuff like that until
Yeah,
people are homeless.
yeah, personal.
Maybe
personal
Matthew Johnson had a little bit of fraud there when
a lot of fraud.
when you have the cult people giving him money and
Yeah, but
that one dude who didn't take his medication and
died.
he died from that.
Yeah,
Now
he did.
he didn't get in. No, Matthew Johnson didn't get in trouble. He didn't get arrested and stuff. So legally, he wasn't the
He
cause,
broke no laws.
but at the same time, heavy influence.
Yeah, and I mean, like, to me, that's where this entire narrative is going. It's not just like fuck Hellbent and Holler. Fuck them. Like, fuck Matthew Johnson. Like, fuck some of the people that have clearly done a really good job of clipping them and like making the case. Like, fuck them too. It's the narrative. It's the entire fucking narrative from top to bottom, straight into the echo chamber. That's what needs to be destroyed. None of these people need to be called out and destroyed or channels ruined. It's the entire narrative, which is absolute bullshit.
It's hard to that's hard to do, with
It's easy to do. You talk about population numbers. You said you want to get me and Jeff on to talk about population numbers. You need to get Meldrum on.
There's a couple other things I wanted to ask Jeff, but I'm kind of slipping the moment. I have to go back in his last live show, and I think the show he was on with you or he was someone and stuff. There was some stuff you're talking about, but
yeah. No, you need to get Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum on to talk about population numbers.
That'd be a good guy to talk about that.
It just so happened that I asked him yesterday. I said, "Are you still on a 1-to-100 ratio with Black Bear?" And he came back to me. He said, "Nope, more like 1-to-200 ratio."
That's even worse. Oh, we lost you again, Pat. I'll just wait for you to come back on, but I disagree with that. But that's just me, my opinion, my experience. Maybe I'm completely wrong. If someone else wants to join, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of Pat. He's nice. He won't bark too much. Petey won't either.
Petey will definitely bark. And you'll hear him here in a minute, I'm sure. But yeah, man. I asked Meldrum, are you see, there he goes. Are you 1-to-100 ratio or and he come back, nope. Now I'm on 1-to-200 ratio, which puts the Sasquatch population in North America with what Meldrum is saying. Pete, come on, man, stop. I mean it, dude. Pete. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
At 3,000 Bigfoot in North America. In the entire team.
Yeah, it'd be pretty low.
Yeah. Florida to Alaska, Washington State to New York, upstate New York, and everywhere else in between. 3,000 Bigfoot. If you go to a 1-to-200 black bear population, because black bears roughly 600,000. So, yeah. And so, how does that add up to any Bigfoot narrative anywhere? It doesn't.
It actually it's a conflict of my own research and experience too, because personally, I shouldn't come in and we shouldn't be finding or getting evidence or having encounters.
You shouldn't be within 50 miles of a goddamn Bigfoot, dude.
Right, and I shouldn't, as often as I believe I am and hope to, I shouldn't be encountering these things and getting the kind of weird evidence that we have been as often as we have when we go here, go to the western side, go up to the UP and stuff.
No way.
Logically, and the odds is so it's telling me that either the population is a lot bigger and they're not really scared to interact with people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's obviously big enough that we can go to these spots and get lucky some of
Yeah,
the
but
times.
you
So,
you have to hit some magic number there where only fucking Bigfooters are experiencing this, bro.
or it's or like the narrative is you're marked, right? So they see your invisible markings on you, and they can tell, oh, you've been marked. You're one of them. They know. That's what's
And
put out there, right?
and that's the
Because
conjuring. That's the
because it's the only
conjuring
thing
woo
that
bullshit. Yeah.
fantasy makes sense, right? Well, you're marked. That's how they always know, or they're reading your brain, or
Right. Okay, so
you
that's
know,
saying again, if you want to go to a place, not you, Blake, but
I know.
anyone, I'm saying you as a Bigfooter, if you want to go to a place and say, I'm special, I can conjure them up, I'm Gandalf, I have the spells. Fine, say that. Don't tell me they're a fucking undiscovered primate. Either tell me they're the undiscovered primate, or tell me I'm special, I'm Gandalf, I have the spells, I can conjure them up. One of like
And they might as
it's
well be aliens
completely
or spirits or demons at that point. I
whatever.
mean, the
Planet
unicorns,
Hairtron, Planet Hairtron. That's where they come
flying
from.
spaghetti monsters.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
another one I forgot. I was gonna show a video that the Confessionals podcast posted on Facebook, and I laughed and said that it's clearly this flying spaghetti monster on the film because clearly that's what you can see.
Right.
You know, they were kind of pass it off as dog man or whatever, and it's just a fucking dude walking by the horse pen or something,
It's always a
or
dude
cow
walking
pen,
by.
and
Yeah.
none of the cows don't react. Nothing reacts. Just
Yeah, man. So, like, pick one. Like, is it an undiscovered primate, which would have to be elusive and rare?
or
If
has to have high population for everyone to keep it encountering as often as
uh,
they do.
a rare, rare is not high population.
Well,
Rare
you
means
can't
there's
have
not a
everything.
lot of them, dude. Yeah.
Well, they are in Michigan, or I keep running into the same dude who keeps following us, or
Yeah.
knows where to stand when we go there, right?
Or
So
dude, or maybe
it has to be one, right? It can't be. All right, is it
or
we're
maybe
marked and they just know they read our minds?
maybe you're
Their
fooling yourself
spirit.
too.
I mean, that's a possibility, but that's why I love to have witnesses next to me who hear stuff and we capture audio. I mean, I have a couple clips I could play
Yeah,
of
I know.
audio,
I
but it's
get
just
that.
audio, right? It's not,
Yeah,
but
you
it's
don't see what
something.
makes it.
Well, there's not much that can throw a big ass bowling ball sized rock at you.
I
So,
can. I can. I can throw a
but
fucking
if
bowling ball
you
rock at
true,
you.
but then I'm gonna know where you were at, and you're not gonna be able to run away from me in the woods at dark time.
If you're scared and you got Bigfoot on the brain, you're damn right I can.
But I will hear you walk away, and you're not going to be. You know this. You can't see without a flashlight. Humans can't throw a rock
Uh,
far enough,
yeah,
run away fast
night
enough.
vision goggles, absolutely could do it.
Humans, humans are
You
not as
are
stealthy
you
as we lost you. Unless you're some special forces guys, trained to do that. Any person out there, and I'm out there, and they're trying to hoax me, I'm gonna be able to catch right up onto their ass. There ain't no way that they're gonna outrun me. I'm gonna hear them. They're gonna trip. They're gonna fall. They'll get stuck.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
I mean, I'll sit here and I will say to you personally, Blake, I could outsmart you in the woods. Just me, just my dumbass. If I
You
wanted,
will, but if you physically have to be there, right? And
but
when you're physically there, you're not going to be able to physically sneak out of the area unless you really trick me, because
I
humans
could
make
do
too
all
much
that.
noise.
I promise you, I could do all that personally. Me, my
I
dumb
mean,
ass.
I'll put you up to the test if we ever come face to
I
face.
could do, yeah, fine, fair enough. Here's what I'm saying is that my dumb ass that has no training, and I'm sitting here saying, yeah, I could fool you in the woods. Everything between me, my dumb ass, is what I'm saying. My dumbass could do that. Everything between my dumbass and a Navy SEAL, there's endless possibilities for you to be fooled with other people.
I just, to me, I mean, I physically don't see it with a person at nighttime because I know I've traversed these landscapes at nighttime with flashlights, without
Dude,
flashlights, and like
man, I
you're
could,
gonna hear a person there. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if a person does something and drops straight to the ground, and you just walk right by him and you don't see him. But
I could
we're
fool
not
you, dude.
Sasquatch, you know.
I could totally fool you.
Uh,
All I need is two Bluetooth speakers and a handful of rocks,
you're doing the
and you're gonna walk away from that going, "Fuck, we dealt with Bigfoot that night," and I'm laughing my ass off, going,
but the practicality is,
you know,
you would have to know where we're gonna
"Well,
go. You
yeah,
would
of
have that
course,
pre-set up. And
sure,
so the random people doing it, it doesn't make sense.
yeah," but how easy is that to do to people? You know,
Well, supposedly
pretty easy.
Long Island Bigfoot did it once or twice, and before he got caught.
It's so easy to do. I mean, so if I could do it to them, I could do it to you too. You're right. Like, I'm not gonna randomly pick. I live in Georgia. You're in Michigan. Like, I'm not just gonna randomly go, "Hey, Blake's here this
Yeah,
night."
Pat got lucky.
You know?
Blake's there.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you're right about that. But all I'm saying is it's doable. It's absolutely doable.
I
And
mean, yeah, if you were out
yeah,
there, I would definitely trust you and I definitely wouldn't suspect you planting speakers and so I
well,
think
I
it could be
wouldn't want
possible
to.
with that. I know, I'm just
I
saying,
wouldn't,
but
yeah, I wouldn't even want to. I'd be like, okay, I want to hear what you're hearing. I want to experience whatever is to be experienced. I would be like pretty honest about it. Um, and I'd be like, hey, bro, that's a barred owl. that's a, that's a yote.
hey, that's the only thing I
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
for is just be completely honest to what we're all witnessing and stuff, and
yeah,
hopefully it would be something spectacular one of these days.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing, dude. How do I explain this to the Bigfoot world? It's pretty simple. What do you got a hotspot? Who's got a hotspot? Who? Put Everybody put their hands up. Like, I have a hotspot.
Supposedly
Yeah,
everyone, right?
right. Yeah, a lot. I mean, a
Most
lot of
people.
people. A lot of people. And of course, they're full of shit. I will tell you that right now. No, they don't, because Bigfoot's not in the LBO. Um, so
Well, I
like,
mean, you claim it's a hot people. I have hot spots, but that doesn't mean every time I go there, stuff happens. But it's just, seems to be
well
spots where
then,
more often
why is it a hot spot? Like,
because it's
what?
better than other spots.
Right. It's better than I woke up in my living
I
room
went to
and
this one
nothing
spot,
happened.
nothing has ever happened there. When
Yeah.
I go to this one spot, you
Right.
know, 6
Yeah,
out of
but
10 times something happens there. Like that's a hot
it's
spot.
yeah, exactly. It's pretty easy to like corner a Bigfooter who's claiming a hotspot into that sort of ratio. Like, they'll defend it so hard that they defend it to the 6 to 7 times, like you said. And I'm like, okay, cool. So you know where they're at. That's pretty amazing.
I
Um,
mean,
maybe we should go check that out. Should be a lot of
well,
hair. Should be a lot of poop.
well, you
But
think, but
yeah,
where do they sleep? Do they sleep on the ground? Do they
yeah.
sleep?
Where are they? Where's their water
Where's the
source?
evidence in winter?
Where's their water source? Where are they killing their food? Where are they eating their food? Um, Pee, poop, food, water, hair. Huge biological impact on what
That's the thing I'm struggling with is I'm not
anybody would
finding any of that.
consider well, then you're probably not dealing with Bigfoot, because guess what? An undiscovered primate, bro. Listen to me, Blake. An undiscovered primate would leave that kind of huge biological impact
I
behind.
agree.
A lot.
I
Okay.
agree. Even just
Oh,
laying there,
right.
laying on the ground like deer, you can see the
Again,
indentations.
again. So then, where do you go with that? When do you just run away and go, they're woo? Okay, fine, fair.
No, but
Anybody that pulls that trigger, there's no in between. Anybody that pulls that trigger and says, you know what, fuck it, I'm going full blown woo. All right, cool enough. I can't explain that because I don't know what woo is. I can wrap my head around an undiscovered primate. Okay, that I can wrap my head around. So there's no in between. There's no mixing of the two. It's polarized. They're either completely unexplained Hairtron beings, or they're an undiscovered primate.
Well, I think there's the undiscovered primate side of things, but I think there's things that they're doing. Maybe they're not they go in caves and stuff, and
Caves, no, dude. Caves
I
are
mean
small.
I mean
We're cavers.
underwater
We're
Dave
cavers.
underwater dens like otters or beavers that they dive into underneath swamps and rivers that humans just won't go into. And maybe they are leading into bigger karst systems. I don't know how much you heard me. So
Yeah.
maybe it's like otter dens, beaver dens underneath swamps.
Oh, for 8 foot tall, fucking 800 pound fucking primate? Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, I know. I
we're
mean, why not?
no,
Alligators can do it.
no, because we're cavers. You say alligators. Alligators are slim. They're very slim beings.
Well,
An
these
eight
things are
foot.
intelligent. They're not pooping and
Okay,
shitting in their favorite tree for the
all right,
last decade.
dude. They
With
have
mile high shit.
They have 4 foot wide shoulders. They are not going into caves. I'm sorry.
What? Not. I mean, exactly. Not into the caves that you see spelunkers doing, but in
No, but we know
massive
what
karst
other caves
systems and
are
caves.
there. No, we're masters at caves. Humans are masters at caves.
Well, yeah, but I guess deep recessed karst systems, karst type caves,
with
topography,
I
with
guess
running water.
I guess
like
with
aquifers.
Yeah, with like big giant openings for them to get into.
The
How do
deep.
they ever get into it? Like, yeah.
Well, in Michigan, there are some swamps in northern Michigan and lakes that basically are a big sink, and at the very bottom there is a plug. And some have been documented of when that plug goes away, the whole lake drains and all the fish go in it underground, traveling to miles, popping out. All the fish in the lake pops up there. And
That's a
so,
total excuse. Like,
my theory,
yeah.
if there's in the swamp and they get pushed past the
Caves aren't
stopper
everywhere, man.
level, there are caves in Michigan, but there are no surface caves. So underneath our ground, we have cave systems, we have aquifers,
Aquifers. Aquifers are different.
yes,
Yeah.
and we have karst systems, which is a little bit of water flowing through caverns and a couple of different things.
So now
we have that.
So
but
now
we
they
don't have surface entrances.
Now they have 4 foot wide shoulders in aquifers where they have to hold their breath. Like, that gets nuts. So
well,
fast, bro.
that makes more sense to me than jumping in through a portal.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm trying to keep it natural and logical. They're not jumping in a portal yet.
It's still absurd, but it's less absurd.
But who's swimming in the swamps? Who's diving in and going past that muck level or searching for fucking den openings in swamps?
Well, I don't know, man.
There's no one.
Who's fucking setting up camp and getting whoops and shit within eighth of a mile of a camp. Bigfooters.
Everyone,
Yeah,
practically
exactly.
90% of people.
You're right. So you see, this just got circular. Like
Well, we got
it's
to think outside of the box, but we have to think logically, right? So if there's no caves, they're not up in fucking trees, they're not on the ground, there's no shit piles 20 feet high. There has to be something. They're doing something. They're going somewhere. There's something going on, right? Because I've been to these
I can
spots.
tell
I've
you
been in
what's
winter.
going on. Blake, I can tell you what's going on.
Besides, there's not fucking Bigfoot there.
Pete, shut up. Pete. Sorry.
Pete's
I can
getting
tell
into
you
it.
what's going on. Yeah, there's almost no Bigfoot there. There's this much of a percent. God damn it, Pete. You're ruining my big moment here. My profound, my biggest moment in Bigfootery ever. There's this fucking much of truth to the entire Bigfoot narrative. That's it. Pete, come here.
I don't know. It's frustrating, man, but
Yeah, no, it's like, look,
frustrating.
I shouldn't even be saying that. I should be the guy here going, I should be the 180 guy going, you know what? I've swam these waters deep as fuck for 10 years. And there's nothing. There's nothing. It's a big nothing burger.
I think there
You
is,
know,
man.
no. There's a big nothing burger. All you people have is your beloved PG film, which is clearly a guy in a suit. Clearly a guy in a suit. Like I could be that guy, but I'm not being that guy because I've actually swam these waters. I've swam them so deep to go. I'm being fucking honest with every single one of you. Is that it's all bullshit, except this much. I can't explain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that.
There is still this percentage right here. I hold in my hand dearly. Fuck you, Pete. Come here. Fucking he pisses me
You're
off.
about to hold Petey in a second.
Yeah. This much I'm fucking holding in my hand that I can't explain. I can't explain the person that runs into them in broad daylight, 10 feet in front of them. They're either lying or they're not. Like, again, that becomes polarized. They're either lying or they're not. There's no in between. There's no misidentification. It's broad daylight, right? 10 feet away, 15 feet away, 20 feet away. And they're like, no, I swear to God, dude. Like, this fucking hairy man fucking thing was standing there. I'm like, I can't explain that. And that's just kind of where I'm at. Everything else is bullshit. Total bullshit. Barred owls, coyotes, Pete howls. Yeah, man. Like I could turn a Pete howl into a fucking Bigfoot experience,
Oh yeah. I definitely I see how easy it is for people researching like us and stuff who could hoax and fake people and be an actor and all this, charge money for this and that. And it's going to come to an end. It's going to come to a head. I think the truth in the fantasy is going to come to face, and we're going to,
I think you're right.
I think something big is going to happen. I think people are going to move to the right side, or we're going to get a good discovery and it's going to blast all that craziness back to the Stone Age, I guess. I hope. Or we're going to be wrong and they're just going to prove them right.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be eating our opinions on.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, it's you're absolutely right when you say that. Like it could come to a head in a couple of different ways. Like the echo chamber can just swell up to a point where it just kind of blows up on its own,
Yeah, I can see that.
Or something important could happen to sort of shift the narrative in a different direction, and cut off the echo chamber. So you're right. I mean, Jeff had made a very poignant point. He Although it was his opinion, he just said, I don't see anything that can like bounce back against what's happening. Like, I don't see any like negative bounce back, basically, is what he said. I'm not quoting him. I'm just roughly like giving the sentiment of what he was trying to say. And and I I quickly snapped back on him. I said, no. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction, no matter what. Like, no way, dude. Like, this will fucking come to haunt the Bigfoot community.
I think
Everything they're
so.
doing, everything they're doing, all the narrative and the echo chamber shit, it will 100% bounce back on them in a negative way. There's no way around that. Of course,
It's
it
so
will.
delusional. It's
Yes.
so epic and grand fantasy that
Yes.
it has to fail. And reality will win. Like, and it's sad.
Reality always wins. The truth always wins.
It's been going on for a while.
When
But
is the truth? When has the truth ever failed?
it might take some time, but it always shines its bright light.
Yeah. When has truth ever failed? Because truth is what it is. It doesn't require your understanding. It doesn't care whether you know it or not. It's just laying there waiting to be discovered. The truth is absolute. And it can never fail because it's 2 + 2 = 4. That's the truth. It doesn't matter if you recognize it or not. You could sit there and go, nope, I don't believe that. 2 + 2 does not equal 4. It doesn't matter like who fucking convolutes whatever bullshit in their brain. The 2 + 2 = 4 is just laying there. It's just laying there like, this is the truth. That's it. Absolute.
I think it's going to come head to head. And
head to head.
It's going to be some conflict. There's going to be some drama.
Oh, man.
And there's going to be there's friendships that are going to be tested because you can't have a friendship with someone who's lying to your fucking face. In my opinion,
are we going to do some? Are we going to do some Avenger Wars kind of shit in the Bigfoot world? Like, I'm kind of cool with that. Like,
I mean, it has to be. It's you have such grand fantasies that
can I be Captain America? Can I be Captain America?
If you want to. What's Petey gonna be?
I'd be a fucking sidekick. I'd be a fucking sidekick. I don't know, man. Like,
he's gonna be
Spider Dog. Yeah.
That what's that voice guy? Blast his voice. Or
yeah, I could be that too.
He got his. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, like,
are we
gonna have an Avengers moment? I mean, because I'm cool with that. I'm like, I'm ready.
I doubt that we are gonna have one, but
I'm ready for that war. Like, I will fucking take up the shield. I will be Captain America.
No, the only war that the community has ever seen was Mr. Wolf Josh's made up bullshit wars on everyone else. That's the only war that seems to be going on. But I think it's just people are gonna have to come to the fact with reality
and I don't think that's gonna happen because it's way too it's too entertainment based.
And there's a lot of friendships and relationships that are turning a blind eye to it. Basically, you're ignoring the reality and common sense in front of your face. So
Yeah. No shit. And
So
I don't
something has to give, or you play along. You keep playing along,
I
even though
yeah.
you've. Because some of them, I have to say, it's like some of these people are smart, right? They're very articulate. They come off really good. And it's like, how and why are you falling or seemingly falling for this cheap trick? There's trickery. This story narrative. It's like
I yeah. No, I get that. I mean, you're 100% right, man, when you say that. But I kind of see it like I see the narrative dying out because the audience eventually will get tired of it.
yes,
Um,
yes,
because it's the same shit over and over and over
yeah.
again, you know. And so at some point the audience will just get disinterested and they'll move on to something else or just disengage altogether. I don't know how the audience
I
could
think that's
ever.
our best bet.
Yeah, I don't see how the audience could just keep hearing the same shit over and over and over and over again, and not get bored with it at some point, you know, and not and
Or not want more,
more evidence,
like more
you know.
evidence, more science, just common sense going about it, scientific way approach. I mean, just
Yeah,
real reality. And I think that's probably the key is we will probably see
yeah,
a shift of the audience
reality.
and subscribers actually flood us, or at least the people who are kind of making more sense in reality. I mean, we're not experts, we're not all that, but at least I feel like we're making at least common sense questions and discussions here, and
Yeah, I mean, you're
it's
right. I
frustrating.
mean, it could be that the audience circles around to the more reasonable voices and my channel blows up, unexpectedly or whatever. Um, but all I know is this is that they're definitely going to get tired of the same rhetoric and narrative over and over again. Um, and like that's unavoidable. In storytelling, you can't avoid that. Like you got to figure out a way to tell the story differently, you
You
know.
see How to Hunt, he's still going strong, I'm guessing. What, he's still getting 50, 75,000 views per video.
Yeah, which like kills me,
So
dude.
I
Like
mean, he
I can't explain that.
we've seen him for what, like 3 years at least.
More than that. Yeah.
And I mean, it's consistent. So I mean, in some ways we can see the data, like it's not really been shifting, but at the same time, with all the numerous people and
Right, but I mean, I'll
doing the
give
same thing.
I'll give Steve his credit where his credit's due. He's a personality, and he is. He's a personality. He's a good personality. And so, like when you go along the good personality lines, it's a little different. You know, I could see how the numbers would stay more consistent. Because you know, I follow all kinds of YouTubers and streamers and shit, like outside
Mm,
the Bigfoot world, right? So I follow gamers, like people who play games online, and they have a good personality. People latch onto that and they stick with it, um, just because of the person's personality and and
right.
and their ability at the same time, to play the game, competently and in an entertaining way. So they're good at the game and they have a good personality. Like people stick with them, you know. And so, it could be the same in the Bigfoot world, you know.
A little bit of
Like,
that. Yeah, definitely a
yeah,
lot of that actually too. It's a
Yeah.
combination of all that.
So I like your personality. That's why I follow you. And on top of that, ah, nope.
We'll wait till Pat gets his camera and stuff fixed. I think there went Petey, but we'll wait till he's back on and stuff, and we'll go for a couple more minutes and then shut the live stream off. I'm getting tired. I thought I was gonna go longer, but once my body says sleep and stuff, I try to listen. Plus, I have a exciting day. Oh, there's Jeff. Well, Jeff, if you want to jump on and stuff, we'll continue the show. You ready, Pat?
I'm trying, bro.
It's all right. I remember what I wanted to ask and talk to Jeff you about, and that was all the eyeglassing, hours and hours of eyeglassing with your hunting buddies and stuff. Was
That that's Jeff. That's not me. It's Jeff.
And basically, my question for you, Jeff, was going to be you and your hunting guys and your partner stuff. Do you guys always have a specific spot, an area, or mountain or ridge line that you always go into? You walk the same path to take, and that you always sit on. Like you have a particular mountainside. Do you sit on each and every time that you would personally go, or do you are like I know sometimes here in Michigan you have to be licensed to guide and they give you a spot to guide and stuff. I'm not sure how it works out west, but if there was basically a pattern where you would always go to this particular spot on this particular season and you would always go there, and would that be a pattern that maybe Sasquatch could recognize to hide from you so you would not be able to spot them in the eyes
all right
spotting scope for hours and hours and hours and hours that you would do at the daytime. So like if they knew you were going to be there during deer season and you're always there during deer season, I would assume they would expect Jeff to be there during deer season.
Right.
So that was going to be my kind of line of questioning and topic.
Why in the fuck don't Bigfoot take that same attitude towards campers? Like
maybe because they're not actively engaging in hunting.
Yeah, well, they're Bigfooters. Bigfooters showing up at campsites, banging on trees, going whoop whoop rah rah, and all the calls and shit. Like why? Like yeah, man. Like like none of that makes sense.
See, that's what I was kind of figuring, especially when you're hunting elk, and depending on what you were, the herds and migrations, and plus, I'm sure there's seasons that you would want to let the area rest and hunt other places and stuff like that. So, because I was kind of curious because Jeff and hunters do spend hours and hours literally sitting and watching through a scope, but if their patterns can be recognized and actually patterned, then it would be a way for Sasquatch to avoid them. But random hunters going on a random mountain and looking, it's
avoid.
You would think,
like, how are they avoiding people? If they're making whoops, dude, they're not avoiding people. Like that's.
And that's the other side of the coin if they're elusive.
It's a contradiction.
Yes, it is a contradiction. Yeah. If they're elusive and they're trying to be avoiding people, why are they interacting and purposely announcing themselves?
Yeah,
it's because they're intelligent. Obviously, that's the only reason. It's the intelligence, because intelligence is fighting against their instincts. Because all animals' instincts.
Well, then they're not elusive. Then they're not elusive.
No, they are. But the intelligence.
No.
When you have an intelligence.
No. Fucking mountain lions are intelligent in their own way.
Well, they're still an animal.
They're extremely elusive. You can't have it both ways. You cannot contradict. Again, that's where the contradiction comes into play. Well, if they're elusive, they're fucking elusive. You can't just say, well, they're curious and intelligent. Like that.
Well, it's a choice. It's not instinct. They're not like instantly like
Yeah, well, now
doing
you're
that.
putting yourself in the head of a fucking Sasquatch. You're reading their
Well,
minds. You're
intelligence,
projecting.
yeah, but we know that animal intelligence
It's an excuse,
creates
dude.
creates curiosity. I just watched a video of some
Uh-uh.
wild horses today of a
Nope.
guy on a trail riding a horse, and the wild horse, its instincts was it was running away, but it would stop and look, and it was
It's
trying
a
to
fucking
figure out
horse. You're not talking
because
about a
right,
Sasquatch,
but
dude.
it was the
Yeah.
first time that horse had seen a person riding another horse, right? A wild horse had never seen a domesticated horse
Uh,
being rode on, right? So its
so
instincts was
what?
telling it to run away, but it would stop, and its intelligence was telling it to check this thing out, right? So
Whoa, dude.
intelligent
No.
intelligence
Uh-uh.
can override instinct, right? We see that in the animal kingdom, right? Fear,
All right.
fight and flight
So,
response, right?
so
Can be
horses
overridden.
clearly,
That was an
yeah,
example, and horses are
clearly,
pretty smart.
clearly, horses are not elusive.
Well, wild horses
Horses,
are try.
no, they are not.
You go try to go
No, they
walk
are
up to
not.
a wild
Clearly,
horse.
no, 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 no. Oh, okay, yeah. Walk up to wild horse. That's not what I'm talking about.
But
Horses
yes, I understand what you're
are
trying to get
not
at. But
elusive. Clearly, humans have dominated the fucking horse population. Dominated it.
most every other animal species on this planet besides supposedly Bigfoot.
All right,
And why
right.
is because they're a higher intelligent animal than all of the
Yeah,
animals that we've
yeah, but
conquered, right?
elusivity is only just that. You're either elusive or you're not. You can't be both. You can't be
Well, I mean, you
a
can.
little bit elusive. Stop, Pete. Come on.
Well, if it's by choice, right? You're elusive, but you're choosing to cause the interaction, right? I choose to announce myself or slap
That's
a
not
house.
elusive. That's not elusive though. That's the exact opposite. That's engaging.
Well,
So once you're engagement,
but if
you're not
99%
elusive.
of the time they're elusive, and the 1% of the time they decide to randomly interact and do something.
Yeah, but
I
okay.
mean,
So all right. So that's your opinion.
well, I mean, there's a reason why we haven't discovered Bigfoot yet, and then there's a reason why people encounter these things, and we have evidence. Like,
correct.
and some of it is not randomly finding a Bigfoot on a mountainside that's trying to be elusive. Most of it seems to be interactions, or it is responding back to you when it doesn't have to respond back. It doesn't have to let you know it's there. It never had to do anything. It was watching you the whole time. It made the intelligent choice to respond back in whatever manner or do whatever.
You say intelligent. You keep saying intelligent. I'm buying that, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not their instincts telling them, oh, hey, there's some people over there, and they're doing Bigfoot things, so let's go do stuff over there. That's not their instincts telling them to do that. That's their brain, them thinking about these Bigfooters are there over there doing this. Let's go over there and do this with them. That's not their instincts telling them, oh, hey, these people just did wood knocks. Let's go wood knock back. They're not. It's not like that.
If you're elusive, you see people, you walk in the opposite direction. You don't
then
engage.
Why? And then how?
You don't
then
engage.
How,
because
then
it's not happening.
Watch.
Because it's not happening. Because that's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
If 1% of it was happening, then how come they sit there and watch people more often than not?
Because they don't. What evidence is there of that? None. Zero. There's zero evidence that sit and watch.
Conclusive proof of Bigfoot, but there are
there's no evidence that they sit and watch people.
There's small evidence of
look, bro. If they're sitting there watching you,
I mean, there's no proof, right? There's no proof, but you gotta either believe.
If they're sitting there watching you, they're 50 yards away from you. Bust out the light, bust out the camera, and get the goddamn visual evidence. Okay? Get the evidence. Go out in the woods the next day and find their hair. if they're sitting there and watching you 50 feet from you, and again, I'm not saying you
I
personally,
know. I
Blake.
know.
I'm saying whoever, all the people that say the same shit in the Bigfoot world, if they're just right there, oh my God, I see eye shine, and it's 10 feet in front of me. Why aren't you putting a spotlight up? Like, you could look at what you're looking at. Like, why aren't you doing that? Nobody ever does that. It's Bigfoot in the brain, 100%. It's all bullshit. Like,
Well, when hey man, when you're in the moments and you're looking at something, you're really not really motivated a lot to push through the bush. At least not in the first couple times you try.
I hear you.
And most of the time, when the first couple times happen, you're stuck, you're frozen, you're just watching, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I should have done this and this and
Yeah.
this." Experience though,
You're
I have,
still
I've tried to do stuff, but it's not easy, and
I hear you, man.
so
I've been
I
there.
hear it's complicated.
It
It's
is.
complicated,
I
but
had a full blown hallucination in the woods, bro. Myself, full blown hallucination.
but at the same time, in certain situations, especially with a group of people, you can push it or try to figure out what's going on. I mean, it's give and take, man. Because I've been in certain situations.
Right,
I
they-
wished I would have done more. I would
they- yeah.
walked here, done this, pushed this way, done this.
Whatever, dude. One Matrice 30T solves this whole thing. Is there Bigfoot around you or not? Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at. And
Well, that's why I'm trying to invest in
one
another
cares.
thermal. We already have one on the team, and if we get another one,
No.
300. I mean,
No.
and because if we get thermals and we are experiencing stuff, and there's nothing on the fucking thermals,
forget about that.
then it might be Bigfoot of the brain, or if there's if a fucking rock gets thrown at us and there's nothing on the thermal, I'm gonna have to lean somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what I'm really trying to look for. Is getting these thermals because
there's only one platform that can show you all that. That's a Matrice 30T. Period. Boom. Done. One Matrice 30T blows this thing wide open. Oh, we hear whoops. Oh, we're getting rock thrown. Oh my God, there's things stomping around camp. All right. Well, I got the Matrice 30T in the air. I can see everything. I know exactly what's going on, and if it's there, I'll film it. And by the way, I'm out. I'm out. I film it. I'm out. Like, like I'm gonna go make my millions of fucking dollars off filming a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, motherfuckers. Thanks for bringing me here. Oh, guess what will never happen? I'll never film a Bigfoot at people who are having Bigfoot experiences. I know that it won't happen. Like, I'll never find a fucking Bigfoot every single
I want to
time.
believe. I want to trust people and stuff, and I personally think there's more population than what you and Jeff Meldrum think, but at the same time, I do struggle with the lack of physical evidence left behind. I do struggle with some of the stuff. But I've had some real encounters, close encounters. Me and Jason Kenzie.
I mean, look,
had a encounter, audio and all that, but it's like there's just obviously there's more going on, or they're doing something that we haven't thought of, and it just doesn't make sense to us right now.
And it doesn't. Obviously. Yeah. And so look, Blake, I will never fault you. I'll never criticize you. Like, if you want to put your hands up in the air and say, I don't know, 50-50 chance, whatever. Like, it's just something we don't understand. Or maybe it's like a really slick, rare, undiscovered primate.
Yeah, I mean,
dude,
I don't know.
If you want to throw your hands up in the air and make that statement, I'm not going to criticize you for that, because maybe it is something we just don't understand. I leave that door open 100%. You
I
know,
feel it's something like that. It must be something kind of simple, but something that we're overlooking. That's not woo side, paranormal side, and all that.
if it's fucking undiscovered primate, dude, it has to be extremely elusive and rare. It must be.
I mean, that would make sense on the not having any physical evidence of bedding and fecal
Yeah,
matter
but
and stuff. But
right, and
it
that
would. But what
like
is causing the Bigfoot on the brain and all this like mass psychosis of mass hysteria,
people, 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 people,
mass
people, people, people,
hallucinations and stuff?
people are
That's
fucking
auditory, that's
nuts.
visual, and multiple people too. It's not just one person, it's
Yeah,
multiple people
I don't care.
hallucinating this,
I don't
and
care.
that is kind of unheard of.
No, it's
I mean, that,
not. It's actually very heard of. It's very understood in the psychological world of people, man. People are fucking gullible.
visual hallucination. I mean,
People,
audio and stuff. People can play the telephone game and stuff, but like,
God damn it. Sorry.
it's all right.
Yeah, I just got real aggressive with him.
Pete's extra feisty today.
Yeah. He's getting pissed off at you, Blake. How
What
dare
I did to
you?
him?
How
What did I
dare
do?
you challenge me? No, people are fucking nuts, dude. There's 1,000 reasons why they would. I mean, you fuck, bro. You show clips of people full of shit. All I'm saying is it's way more heavy than what even your what you're showing. People fool themselves all the time. I remember being around the barred owls that night. I had this crazy barred owl night that I'd never experienced before. And it sounded like I was in the middle of a fucking monkey planet or something. And all I'm thinking is Bigfooters hear this shit and they think it's Bigfoot. I know it's barred owls because I'm being objective and I'm grounded. But if somebody has Bigfoot on the brain and they're not grounded and they're not objective, they are going to go to the first fucking show they can and talk about their Bigfoot experience. There was nothing more than a goddamn barred owl.
That's right.
That was a profound moment to me, dude. Profound moment. And guess what? What do I hear today? Audio of what? Coyotes and barred owls. That's it.
Yeah.
Every goddamn piece of audio that everyone wants to play, coyotes and barred owls. That's all I hear. I'm like, I know what they sound like.
I got some stuff for you to hear. There was actually one time that I thought I was hearing wood knocks, and I was down a hill, and when I went up the hill, the sound, sounded better, more clear, and it was a woodpecker. But the diffusion of the sound underneath the hill and the sound waves through the forest sounded a little bit more rough. But of course, when you get up the hill, it was not the same kind of sound, even though it wasn't a massive, tree knock. The sounds are different depending on what you're behind and what the topography is.
So, yeah, sound is weird out in the woods.
That is right. That is correct, Jeff. Make stuff up or act like vault keeper, Rambo, any tough guy like Mr. Wolf.
Sounds weird out in the woods. And I've heard things out in the woods at night that I still to this day can't explain.
So I got some audio I'm gonna play for you. And at the end, when you hear Josh, he says, "Oh my God, you hear that and stuff." You should be able to hear the splashing sound.
Yeah.
I hope. I hope. This would be Josh Parson, not the other guy I was talking about.
Yeah. All right.
was that? I don't know. Did you hear that hiss?
Oh my God! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown into the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown into the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown into the water.
Yeah. Sabe.
Oh. You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
So some of those, that was some of the audio we caught in Western Michigan, and that rock that got thrown was good sized rock. Deer didn't fucking do that. Maybe the only Bigfoot in Michigan by your standards. Suppose we were just right there at the right time, you know.
Or
So
person
that's not
or
proof
deer.
of anything, right? That's not proof, but
No,
that
it's
to
not.
me that's evidence
not.
of something abnormal happening in the woods at nighttime, right? You know, rocks don't fly off the ground and into a creek by themselves.
Yeah, they do all the time. Like,
all the time.
That happens. It could just be that you were in the right place at the right moment. Of course rocks come down. How do you think the fucking mountains were formed?
We were
Like,
we're in Michigan. This is a flat country. There was nothing to fall
there was no terrain.
No, it's flat. We were actually in this creek bottom, but where it was thrown, there's nothing for it to fall into the creek to cause a splash like you heard or like we experienced and stuff.
Nothing. No bank, no embankment.
Take care, Jeff and stuff. Thanks for stopping by.
Like no embankment.
No, and this was the second night. The first night, this person was with me, turned around and seen one on the trail walk off the trail. We experienced stuff. We chased these things. We got responses and stuff, and this was the second night we walked it down there, had a little bit of responses, got hissed at, and then kept trying to push the envelope and had this massive rock get thrown, and then the dude was freaking out a little bit, didn't want to be down there, went back to camp. Supposedly other stuff happened at camp.
Yeah, I'm just
but there's audio there with it. You hear something splashing the creek.
Yeah, man.
And it wasn't me and him.
I saw lights. In the woods,
But you figured out what that was. You figured out it was the moon.
Yeah. But I could have easily ran away and never known.
You could have.
That's the moral of the story, dude.
And I think, I think that does happen a lot. But I personally stick out there,
And so you're telling me about
figure it out.
Some shit that happened to you that you haven't explained yet, but yet you're willing to assign it to Bigfoot. And I'm
rock that weighs 25 pounds.
Lights in the woods. Lights in the woods.
Okay, but yours, is lights and is not a rock physically lifting up, splashing.
Doesn't matter. It was
yours was more optical illusion.
No, full-blown hallucination.
Or that,
the point is the misunderstanding.
True.
It doesn't matter.
But, I don't think it was a deer.
If it was optical hallucination or something splashed in the creek, and you don't know what made it splash in the creek, you're assigning it to Bigfoot.
Well, I mean,
That's the
common sense.
point.
When you're there, you hear the severity of the splash. You know the thud that you hear, you know, when it splashes and stuff, and you
Okay.
know the terrain feature that there's no hills or anything to roll down into the creek, and you know that animals don't pick up rocks and throw rocks at you, right? By the researcher with me seen one on the trail walk off the trail.
So where did
We
the
did hear. We
all
actually
right,
have a wood knock
answer me
that I
this
don't have
question.
this.
Answer me
I
this
don't have it
question
ready.
then. So where did the Bigfoot
Maybe.
pick up the goddamn rock that shouldn't have been out in the woods randomly? Where did the Bigfoot get the goddamn big rock to throw at you?
Well,
Or was it a rock relative to where the creek was?
well, you know, that's a good question. I don't think that they're carrying rocks with them all the time. If I was to take a guess, if it was the fastest, most simplest thing would be it was a rock that was in the creek bed that it grabbed out of it and then threw, or it was a random rock that it knew of or had or found. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
Because
obviously.
we don't in Michigan, we don't have like rock piles. We don't have, you know, it's a forest environment. So rocks, big size rocks and stuff like this or bigger are kind of a rarity to find and stuff. You know, you don't find rock piles and you don't have boulder fields and stuff. So usually typically next to water or in the streams, river systems, you find those type of rocks.
Right.
So I would guess.
So again, it goes back to my moon thing. It's like you don't know. I was hyper focused on these lights in the woods, and I was convinced I was fucking hallucinating. And I was convinced in that moment. And so you could easily just as be convinced of what you're talking about now, that Bigfoot threw a fucking rock in the wood.
Well, I
Like,
do have this tree knock to play for you that happened the night before. And so there was a couple things that led up. Okay, so just we were wall walking. We have a
sure,
dog with us.
I hear you.
This just happened. Okay.
Narrative. Yeah, go for it.
So the longer clip is we hear it, everyone turns, we watch the
Wait.
dog run back up. I can play it again if you need to.
Well, I mean, it was quick.
That's because it's a short version. The longer version is we're just walking on the trail. We hear this knock. We look down the trail. The dog runs back, and we're all asking, "Hey, did you hear that? Was that you?" That wasn't the dog, right? Like it smacked its head on a. Because we're trying to think what caused that. It wasn't the dog smacking its head on a tree running down the trail. So we experienced that, right? All of us, you know, there's like 5 people there.
Yeah. What makes you think it was Bigfoot?
Well, what makes you think? What else is it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, then.
I mean, you should be in the same frame of mind of
I'm thinking logically.
know.
Was it a deer?
You know,
Was it a raccoon? Was it a squirrel? Was it a pig? Was it a bear? What natural fucking animal can do that?
a Bigfoot.
And when,
that's not a Bigfoot.
well, when you say, well, there's no real natural animal that can do that, even though you can't say it's Bigfoot. This is the symptoms of what Bigfoot are supposedly out there doing, right?
Well,
and
that's convenient.
we just captured a symptom of what we're
That's
experiencing
convenient, bro.
out there.
It's just convenient.
It happened. It was random. It's not. What the fuck? It's a squirrel.
Okay, you can't.
Is it a raccoon.
If you can't explain it.
Well, no, I don't know if it was aliens. Could have been aliens. Could have been a ghost. Could have been a demon. Could have been a unicorn. But typically, what we as a community have somewhat agreed that tree knocks. Tree knocks are associated with Bigfoot, right?
No, I have no agreement.
You don't agree upon it, but
yeah, I don't. And I can honestly say that as somebody who has experienced a tree knock event, a wood knock event for half an hour, so I can honestly back that up and go, nope, you can't say it's Bigfoot. You didn't see it. You
But
just
it's but we
just
know
don't
common sense and
know.
scientifically, we know it's not a fucking deer, right?
It could be. It could be a
Then
deer
how come no one else
whacking his horns.
how come hunters don't have recordings of that? How come
Um,
is it
I
a
don't know.
rare, super
I don't know.
rare?
How, how many hunters are interested in getting deer racking their horns? Hunters are only
Right, all the
interested
time.
in no. They're only
Well,
interested in killing deer. That's it.
that's not true because they have audio and they have game cameras going all the time. But another thing is, how
Mm,
come only Bigfooters are the ones who getting tree knocks, and how come the hunters who have that equipment, who are monitoring regular wildlife, bird watchers, people who there's audio recorders for just birds, how come they don't get wood knocks and stuff if it's a natural occurrence with natural animals? How come we
Um,
don't see that in zoos? How
because
come we don't see
Bigfoot,
that in wildlife
because
sanctuaries? How come we don't have
because
any examples of
now
that?
you're advocating for Bigfooters are conjuring them up. That's why.
Well, what I'm saying is, how come they're only ones to have these wood night type sounds,
Yeah.
and there's no scientific evidence of natural animals through everywhere else in all the media and all the scientific.
Well, trees.
I mean,
Look,
they
I
don't have
can't
anything.
look.
They don't have tree knocks.
I can't explain what that sound was I heard that night, but I'm sure it wasn't Bigfoot. I can't. So there you go, bro. Like
What do you
I'm
think it
that
was a
guy.
woodpecker?
No, it wasn't a woodpecker.
Was it the
Um,
tree popping because of the coldness?
maybe again, I'm the guy that had a full blown hallucination and I thought fucking crazy lights were in the woods and figured out it was the moon. So I'm the guy that can go, all right, I just don't know. You know,
I
I
mean,
just
I'm
don't
not saying it's
know.
impossible. Then
But
nature can't do it. But
I'm not gonna fucking assign it to Bigfoot
well,
because
that's not the only wood knock I have. We have a lot.
well,
Not
go
counting the
go get
37 wood
him.
knocks.
Look, if you're
We have
hearing
a
fucking
couple.
look, if you're hearing wood knocks, they're clearly within 50 to 100 feet of you.
In that case,
Go fucking get them, dude.
you do it. Yep. And then what happens?
Go get them.
What happens? We have a group of 5. We even have a dog out there. The dog's off chains. We're running around. What? And we don't find
No,
anything. We don't see anything.
don't take dogs out there.
Well, there was a dog out there, and I don't like dogs out there because I think
Like,
they can ruin
yeah,
evidence, like
no,
tracks.
no. I think like if all of you get eaten, I'm cool with that, but not the dogs. Don't kill the dog in the movie, dude.
That particular dog, I think dogs are great. They can alert you to things, but if you're gonna find tracks, they're gonna run those tracks over if you don't watch what you're doing. They're gonna run those tracks over and
with
run and mess everything.
their tiny little paws. Sorry, I'm being an asshole. Hey,
So
go ahead.
in
Go
that
ahead, Blake.
situation, we walked around and there was a swamp right there, and if they don't want you to, if they don't want to do anything else, nothing else happens. So you have a random, clear as day, heavy wood knock on a random trail that 5 Bigfooters are walking down.
You can't shine a light in their face.
We had lights. We're shining them every fucking where. Like, I mean, come on, man.
They're forest ninjas, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they're doing something, right? They're doing something.
Yeah, in and out of portals. That's what they're doing.
Whether they're standing there, turning around with their fucking eyes closed, going like this, hoping that you don't see them. I don't know. It's working. It works.
Okay, again, put me in that situation and I have a Matrice 30T in my hand. I can quickly, 30
Well, that's what we need is better equipment.
30 seconds. I can tell you whether you're imagining the shit or not. because they're either there or they aren't.
Well, that's what
Right.
we need a little bit. We need another thermal. We already have one, but sometimes it doesn't
No, I'm
cooperate. We
airborne.
need well, I don't got $15,000 to spend on a drone system, man. And if I had $15,000, I think I'd be buying a lot,
I hear
multiple
you, dude,
equipment, multiple
but
different things.
okay, so here's what I'm telling you though, is like you're describing this situation to me. And
Yeah,
all I'm telling you is I'm not putting pressure on you to say you have to have this money or that money. All I'm
I would if
telling
I
you,
could. I would.
all I'm telling you is in that situation, we can figure that out just that fast.
And that's what I want
In
because I want. Yeah,
30 seconds, we could be up in the air and figure it out. Is it a Bigfoot? If it is, boom, we're filming it. Like it's over. Game over. Game over, dude. Spotlight, 200 times zoom camera, like all that powerful shit. Like the
yeah,
technology's here. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not trying to put that financial pressure on your
no,
shoulders. All I'm
no, I know.
saying is like what you're telling me is the same shit that other people in the Bigfoot world are saying. And so, all right, if it's that easy, if it's that easy to get
Yeah, something's going
that
on.
close to one, why are we not blowing the lid off the most amazing fucking discovery in modern day biological human history? If it's that easy.
I mean, I've
15,
kind of,
15
yeah.
grand can't stop that, dude. $15,000 can't stop
That's
blowing
what
the lid
I'm.
off this whole thing.
That's where I'm kind of at. Is we're experiencing stuff. Personally, I'm experiencing stuff, and we need verification. We need a thermal. We already have a really good thermal that can see, 100 yards in the tree line. During winter and stuff, you can see through all the whole fucking trees. Like you can see everywhere. Like
I'm
you
talking
get
about
two of those bad boys. $2,000 camera. It's not a cheap ass one. $2,000 camera. $1,000 thermal.
Yeah, so your boots
About
on, boots on the
620
ground,
resolution.
your boots on the ground technology ain't fucking working. All right, time to get it in the air. Time to level it up.
If I'm out there with two thermals
This is
constantly
logic.
and it's still, then I will concede that we need a fucking drone, and that's the only way.
Yeah,
But I need
simple logic.
two
dude.
thermals. I got
Yeah.
the new audio set up. They're beginning next month, plus what Tyler has. We're gonna fucking hear an ant sneak up on us, and with thermals, we'll see anything. So there's what we're about to get with the audio. We will be able to hear anything sneak up on us. We should be able to capture these audios of them fucking walking away and stuff if they're that close to us. We're about to get. I'm about to purchase mine. He has his. So like, kind of like a parabolic dish thing without the parabolic dish. So it's capturing everything.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, whatever, dude. Fuck your dish. Fuck your fucking boots on the ground thermal. One Matrice 30T can blow this whole thing wide open. Tell me where they're at. Show me where they're at. Confidently. You get whoops, you get knocks, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, Bree, how's it going?
Hey, doing all right. I was gonna ask, did you have a flare when you were out there? You don't have anything like that with thermal on it that we can see?
Our team member Tyler has a thermal. He has a
yeah, boots on the ground.
Flare thermal.
Again,
I've had one. We've had
not
a few,
getting it
but
done.
Yeah, that was a different story.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you couldn't attach like a regular one to like a cheap drone. Just get it up in the air.
cheap drone. No.
No, they don't carry enough. Most thermals are heavy and.
Yeah, no. When we're talking about drones, we're talking about using advanced thermal drones. So $15,000 drone.
Yeah, that has the thermal camera built for the drone itself.
Yeah, and
it's 4K.
We
or not
blew it.
4K. It's probably
We blew it
720p.
wide open. All right. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh shit, Bigfoot's over there. It's whooping at us. Drone in the air. Boom. Film them. Probably not. They probably won't be there. That's the
Were you
problem.
getting whoops? I thought you just said wood knocks. I just started listening in about a half an hour or
Yeah,
so. I thought you
or
said
wood
wood.
knocks. Okay, we start here with wood knocks, put the drone in the air. Up.
He's
I
giving
don't.
an example, like if we
Yeah.
had something going on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pop
Yeah,
that
because
drone up.
I was talking,
We should be there.
about your specific situation, like when you were in, what could you have done if you'd had that technology available, right?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah,
heard your
pretty
wood
much.
You would have
knock.
if Bigfoot was there. If you had that technology available, you would have filmed a Bigfoot. It's that simple. It really is. It's
So,
that
but
simple.
I mean, there's people out there with that technology though that are,
No, there's
think
not.
they would have.
Who? Name one.
Not
People,
Bigfoot researchers.
I mean, just like the sheriff's department looking for weed and stuff. I mean, there are people scanning the forest. Been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, there's
Mm.
drone people who have
Thermal
some of
imaging,
that. Military cops.
Sheriff departments scanning
like the
forest.
DEA and stuff. Yeah, like the DEA.
DEA. That's more of a helicopter thing. I mean, they
Well,
might
that
use
was. I'm not
drones.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, most like local sheriff's departments have at least around here, they have a FLIR drone.
Most sheriff departments don't have any drone teams, and if they do,
I mean, the ones here do.
if they do, they privatize it for search and rescue. That's it.
I just talking about the ones in the area that I live in, I'm like in a rural area where they do a lot of coverage for wider areas looking for stuff. But yeah,
For
I can
what?
show you. I
I've
don't
seen
know.
some police stations have drones and stuff, and they use it for surveillance, and their
Yeah,
excuse is reconnaissance and recovery for people.
Yeah, they'll put it up on their Facebook pages all the time, talking about their drone and what they did with their drone and how they found this and used their drone to assist with that. All the local police departments.
Okay, so I could tell you that the vast majority of SARS rescue teams are privatized and with sheriff's department to actually look for actual people missing in the woods, and are called in only in those moments. The DEA, that's a different thing. Like that's a whole different box to
Most
unpack.
police departments in the United States use drones. Any number of so it sounds like you're just wrong about that. Most police departments do use drones, according to just a quick Google search.
Yeah, most police departments.
Right. Police. I put sheriff's departments. Yeah, it says sheriff's departments. Actually, is what I put in. So yeah, it's sheriff's departments. The most of them do have drone technology that they're using flying around out there.
Yeah.
You think they would have found Bigfoot by now?
I've seen a drone. I got a story for you, Pat. I was in Battle Creek and stuff, and I looked up and I seen this big ass looking drone looking at me. And when I looked at it, it fucking just took off, and it looked like an exoskeleton type of like super cop drone thing, like the big ass ones that are like this.
Yeah, huge
I
one.
swear, dude, this thing was hovering just above the tree line. I looked at it, it knew I looked at it, and it took off. And I was thinking, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And this was years before drones was like in police departments and the big thing and all that.
In my little town, they'll have like anytime they have like anything going on, like a big event or anything, they'll have the drones flying around above. The city won't have the county. Well, this county ones are huge. They're like monstrous, but the city have the little ones like what you can buy at Walmart.
I almost bought a Mini 3, but
like
Pat says, it's going to be useless pretty much.
It's not useless. It's useful. Like
it's still not. It doesn't have the thermal, and you can't get any thermals really for it. So it's
no. You don't understand. Like you guys don't understand. Like, there's this thing called the Matrice 30T. It it has a 200 times zoom camera and a spotlight on it and a thermal camera. I mean, like the technology's already here. We have the tool. Oh, you're hearing whoops? Are you hearing whoops? Oh, whoops. Yeah, probably not. You're probably hearing fucking barred owls, but whatever. I'll put the fucking drone in the air and I'll show you there's no Bigfoot in the area. Like I could do that very easily with the Matrice 30T, just
Well,
one drone.
we need to source one, or we need to be able to rent one, or we need to be able to have someone come out
I have
and do
pilots,
this.
dude. Yeah, but see,
You
it
got to
there is a cost effective measure here, obviously. Like, I can't just drag a fucking pilot out to some random dumbass Bigfoot event, okay, and
hopefully get
and
lucky.
and prove there's no Bigfoot there. Like, there might
Yeah.
be might be some monetary value I could make off that by making a documentary about how Bigfoot's bullshit, you know. Um, but still, I have to pay the pilot and drag his drone.
What about a TV series? What if we have a TV series do it, and
Yeah,
they go to the different spots, and it's like the challenge?
because they're gonna fuck that up. Like, no.
Got to
I'm
have
I'm
you on there, Pat. You got to be the drone
Well,
guy.
I mean,
I
The
mean,
every
consultant.
TV series so far they've fucked it up, so why wouldn't they fuck it up again, right? Every
You
one
know,
we've seen so far.
the drone challenge. If you got a Bigfoot spot, fly, film the whatever show script that is gonna be the same for
no,
every fucking thing. And
like
oh, you hear Bigfoot, then you fly it up there, and
I
either it's gonna be there or it's not, and then go to different
I
spots,
yeah,
have those
I'm
people
cool.
on.
I would be cool with working with a production company to explore those things, you know. But like to say a TV show or whatever,
I don't know, whatever.
the only thing they're gonna want at the end of the day is some dude standing in a tree getting a thermal hit. Like they're just gonna fucking go that TV route. That's it. What I'm talking about is like, no, for real. Oh, you're gonna have or 5 Bigfooters gonna get together next weekend and they're gonna hear whoops. All right, put the drone in the air. I'll tell you real quick, if there's a Bigfoot in the area. Nope, no Bigfoot. You're hearing barred owls, you fucking idiots.
Unless
Like,
it cloaked.
yeah. Well, then, I mean, what do you do with that?
No,
Like,
they
there's, yeah.
interdimensional.
I mean, okay, fine. If you want to say they're woo, say they're woo. Like, but
That's where it's going to go as soon as you put your drone up and say, no, there's no animal, no living creature out there. Oh, they're extra dimensional or they're aliens or some shit like that.
okay,
That's exactly
all
where
right,
it'll go. And then it's like, where do you
that's
take
fine.
the conversation from there?
That's
Some of the
I'm
perfect.
people.
not saying you. I'm not saying you, Blake. I'm saying the
Oh,
people
I
I
know.
that I talk to.
That's perfectly fine. If people want to go that route, then I force them into that corner. I force them into that corner. Like, okay,
Watching the gap.
yeah, you can't. All right. Last week you said they were undiscovered primates. Now all of a sudden you're saying they're totally woo because my drone didn't fucking find them. Okay, fine. Now you are on public record as saying you're 100% woo person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
so that's fine.
I remember the Expedition Bigfoot. I think season 2 or something. They got thermal hits, right? Supposedly the thermal, it wasn't heating up and stuff, but it was the shadow of the Bigfoot there
Eh,
in front of the that doctor.
that's none of
And
that.
then him, it was Rodney, whatever his name is, and the doctor, the female doctor. They were in Kentucky, and they were filming, and they seen something basically invisible walking down and making noise, but they seen the shadow of it mainly casted on the wall. So they seen the thing was invisible, but its shadow was being casted onto the wall, and they seen that and supposedly captured that.
Bullshit.
Oh
Look.
my.
Hey, look, these things absolutely could be from Planet Hairtron, and we just don't understand them. Okay, I will give that possibility. But if you think there's an undiscovered primate walking around North America, there there's a way to find them and film them. The technology exists right now. It's in our labs to say there's an undiscovered primate walking around North America. It's here. The technology exists to capture them.
Well, we need to
So
set up some GoFundMe's or something because we need to acquire this stuff, and we got to, of course, get
yeah,
license and
I mean,
stuff. You have to get
it takes
actually
it.
probably
ta-
insurance and stuff because
eh,
that's a big boy drone, right?
Look, it just takes money. Like I can grab a
Right.
pilot tomorrow. I say,
I'd
hey,
rather
man,
have the equipment, man. I want to be able to fly that thing myself and do all that.
no. A
Well, you want to
pilot.
have a professional driving, flying your
No.
drone, man.
No. It has to be flown by a professional.
You know,
And so I can grab a pilot tomorrow with the drone and drag his ass up to fucking North Carolina or Tennessee or wherever. And he's gonna be like, man, you gotta pay me $500 a day and per diems. And when I shoot, that's $1,500. So we're getting up there in money, few $1,000, right?
Yeah, plus food and lodging and all that.
Yeah, man. I gotta
Say,
I gotta feed
I guess
him.
10 grand per spot
Eh,
for a weekend.
not
No.
really, but
8 grand.
what you need to do here, Blake, is that it's probably going to be cheaper than going to get your own drone and learn and getting
That's what I'm saying. If you might as well
and
just
everything.
no.
buy the
So
15,000,
so
spend a couple
yeah,
for school.
the drone is good. The drone will cost you 15 grand. I mean, a Matrice 30T. You put a spotlight on it.
And that comes with the camera, all that sold with it.
Yeah. It's
Does
all,
it cost the thermal and stuff cost extra on that though? I mean, you get all the bells and
no.
whistles. Is that
It
standard?
it comes with 4 cameras: a thermal,
Mhm.
IR, and FPV, and whatever the other one is. 4 cameras.
1,500 per week
Yeah, there you
rental
go.
right there,
Yeah.
which
There
is a
you go.
lot. But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
Well, does that come with a pilot? Surely that doesn't come with a pilot, though. You have to
Yeah.
you got to fly it.
I'm
I
guessing
don't
for
know.
you to
I
rent
don't
the
know.
drone.
I don't know.
Is that just renting the drone, or renting the drone with somebody that knows what they're doing? Because it's going to take you a week to figure out how to get the thing off the ground.
Yeah. I mean,
At least for me.
So even
I've
me,
flown
dude,
little drones.
I'm a drone guy. Like I'm
Mhm.
the most advanced drone guy in the Bigfoot world. There's no one more advanced than me in the Bigfoot world.
Just the
I'm a-
drone, he says.
yeah, just droning. Like there's nobody in the Bigfoot world that is more experienced with drones than me. And I'm sitting here saying, I would have to train with the Matrice. I would have to train with it. I'd have to get like identifications with thermal signatures. Like, what's the difference between a fox and a squirrel? Like things like that, man, because that's how you hit on shit out there at distance with the thermal. So the idea is to hit on the thermal and get on top of it. Once it becomes interesting, like signature hit to you, that's how you use that drone, or the thermal capabilities. And then once you get on top of it and go, holy shit, this is an 800-pound, fucking, 8-foot tall thing. Bam, spotlight, bam, FPV camera, bam, 200 times zoom, like that's it, game over. Game over. Like I'm filming a Bigfoot, and Patterson Gimlin film is way in the history books. I'm doing 1,000 times better. And so that's the idea, and how you use that technology is to thermal signaturing finds it. And then once you're on top of it, you have the capability to actually film it, like actually film it, you know?
And you can stay with it too. Like it's not going anywhere. You keep track of it. You got your
Oh,
sights
yeah.
locked on it, right? It's not escaping. Unless it
Yeah,
takes one of those 25-pound rocks that Blake was talking about and hits you, knocks your drone out of the sky with it. But
right. Yeah, so it's going to throw a rock 150 feet in the air at right exactly at the drone. No,
with
I
with
don't think so.
much Hulk strength, right?
There's no human being on the planet that could do that.
That would be something to film.
Randy Johnson couldn't fucking do that in his prime.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And we are the most advanced throwers in the world. Yeah, so even if that happened, you caught it on film.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They could shoot laser beams out of their eyes. You just caught it on film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
open this portal and escape, but you got the portal on film.
yeah, exactly. So it doesn't. Once you're filming them, it doesn't matter what they do. They can shoot laser beams or throw rocks or whatever. And it doesn't matter. You just caught it on film. So it's even more amazing, right? Like that makes it even more amazing. If they run away,
maybe we
doesn't matter.
We need to go from Anthony to get started. I think we need we need access to this full time, and
well,
at least
yeah,
someone
man.
to go around, just to go around and do it.
Yeah, but to who? But to who? To who, Blake?
Well, I would
the dumbass people that you fucking show.
No, I would go to
clips?
the Florida corridor with
Yeah.
Matt Larson. I would go to
no, I wouldn't.
the Bluff
Those
Creek
are the places
area.
to go. Yeah, that's a better region. Bluff Creek. I don't think Florida. I wouldn't start in Florida though, man.
No.
Well, if we're going by researchers with a little bit more integrity, then Matt Larson, who was in Florida, he's moving.
Absolutely not, dude. That's bullshit. And
then you could go, hey, there's no Bigfoot in Florida now because you would have flown it over there.
I mean, I'll say this, dude. It's like it's the worst place to use the drone. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's the most thick. So to use the drone, like when you're like ideally using the drone is when the canopy is down. So it's in areas where the canopy is down. So that's actually 6 months out of the year, in most latitudes.
Not tropical places like Florida, though.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, Georgia's tropical too.
Hey! If I start go from and we get that, I'll learn and I'll do that, and I'll just take road trips and let's just start going places with that thing, man. Maybe it might be a dream, but
do it.
I would use the shit out of that fucking thing, man. I would every single time.
So if you hear whoops, that's
put that thing in the air. Put that thing in the air.
It's probably 100 feet away.
Yeah, it's close. It's
whoop,
not far.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't know. It could be 150 yards away. Depending on terrain. But yeah, I mean, the second you put the drone in the air, you're already looking at that 150 yards. Like you put the drone just 200 feet in the air, it can look at that 150 yards like this at an angle and see whatever's out there. And that's the moment I go, nope, you're just hearing barred owls, dude. Or holy shit, what the fuck is this? And I'm honing in on it. But again, why would I fucking chase Bigfooters? It would be such an expense. You know,
It would be. You'd have
yeah,
to
whether
turn it into
whether
something to
whether
get
I
some of that
bought the
money
drone
back.
or not. Yeah. So even if I bought the drone, okay, so it's $15,000 investment. Buy the drone, chase Bigfooters, gas, hotel, whatever, right? Like fucking all over the place. And then I just keep showing up and nothing. Or I drag a pilot into it who already has a drone, so I don't have to spend 15 grand, but I have to drag this pilot who has one of these drones, drag him into it and go, all right, man, get in the car. We're going to fucking North Carolina. We're chasing these Bigfooters, and nothing fucking happens. And then what? Like, I just lost my ass.
Well, we gotta level up. We gotta do something. We need better
Yeah.
equipment. We need I think better equipment is gonna
Nobody's gonna pay for it, dude.
No.
The Bigfooters don't want
No.
this. I'm telling you right now. I'm just gonna say this. The Bigfooters do not want this technology around them because they know it's all bullshit.
That's why you see all the Southern Connection group when they get they got some thermals.
Yeah.
They never use them. They never
Yeah,
get anything from them. They never use them.
Do you think
Some of these people have really good thermals.
Do you think the
Never
Sawbeast
use 'em.
guys? Do you think the Sawbeast guys would ever want this technology, or Debbie Porch? You think Debbie Porch would ever want this technology actually around her?
Not when she's
Right.
getting activity.
Like, okay, well, I can show you if there's activity or not. Boom. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Like, it. Nope.
Yeah.
There's
That's why
no.
thermals
There
and
ain't no.
stuff.
There ain't no fucking Bigfoot out there.
People have them, but you don't see them being used, and you don't see.
Well, you can't deny the aerial. You can't.
Well, that's true. No one has the drones and stuff. Actually, people do have drones, but they don't use them either. So
Yeah, exactly.
because I was thinking about buying a drone. And it's like, you can't use them at nighttime, but like if something happened during the day, open field, swamp area, throw that thing up and you get glimpses of something in 4K. So
if there's something he glimpses of, which
exactly. But people who have, a couple $1,000 worth of drones and cameras hooked up, they don't use them. And it makes me wonder why. If you're a researcher and you're saying you're having all this stuff, why are you not utilizing it?
There's no better way to observe them from the air, like at arm's length, right? So like everything is like this boots on the ground, they're 50 feet away or whatever. It's like this arm's length.
Yeah, because
like,
I was gonna buy.
You break that with a drone.
I was gonna buy the Mavic Mini, or I was gonna save up for the $1,200 one, and buy a bunch of batteries and have that thing out in the air for 2 to 5 hours nonstop. If they're like 20 to 30-minute battery packs, a minute a piece. Buy a whole bunch of them. You can have that thing in the nonstop, just coming back, change the battery out, keep going for hours, and no one is doing it.
And the beauty of that,
when they have it,
no one is doing that. And the beauty of that is that even with that shitty fucking drone, you could fucking, you could cover a 4, maybe 6 square mile area, depending on where you're at.
Depending on which model you get, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get, you want to get.
Storm here. I'm going to bounce. I don't want to be on the computer while it's storming, but you all have a good night.
Yeah, we're going to be shutting the show down here too. We're going over 3 hours and 30 minutes, so appreciate you having you on, Bree.
Yep, y'all take care. Bye, Pat. Bye, Blake.
You too.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna want, like, you even with that crappy drone, I'll say you cover a 6 square mile area if you have elevation, some kind of elevation,
Yeah.
And so how does that compare to boots on the ground? Like, not at all. Where what people just go, like Blake, you famously had put on like, oh, you're like, oh, you were sitting in camp, but if you go 50 feet from camp or 100 feet from camp, I'm talking about covering a 6 square mile area where you will definitely pick up thermal signatures.
You think,
It
but
will,
in season and stuff, it's not gonna work
yeah,
in summer.
yeah. I
Is
mean that it won't. Like
Yeah,
I
thermals
totally,
and stuff. Just
I totally concede, dude, that when the canopy is up, like you can't, like that's not a good time to look. But I say the other 6 months of the year is a great time to look. It's the perfect time to look. It's the 180 opposite,
yeah.
and it's 10 billion times more powerful than marching around the woods and banging on trees.
I see the efficiency in it, and I'm definitely
Yeah.
dreaming
Oh,
for the
sorry, Gene.
$15,000 one. Any last points before we jump off here?
Yeah,
Pat?
dude. Look, I'll drag a fucking pilot into the shit. I don't know if I can come up in Michigan, man. That's a long way. That's a long way from Georgia, dude. Like
It'd have to be a
yeah,
consistent activity that is
yeah,
off the wall chat that I'm
yeah,
begging
yeah.
your ass to come here.
Like my pilots are local.
Well, you said
Obviously.
Tennessee, maybe, right? Tennessee's not too far from me. Maybe we could
Yeah, dude.
do
I
some
could
medium
look. I could
middle
drag
ground
it.
there.
I could drag a
The
pilot.
LBL.
Fuck the LBO. Well, you know what? It would be funny as hell for me to bring a drone to the LBL and just film it that night. And then here, like all these people like go running to the shows, talking about all
Mhm.
their experiences of the LBL and how the LBL, and then I filmed the whole fucking thing. No, no Bigfoot. I didn't see a Bigfoot. You know, so you people, like, if you want to stick to that story, they're magical, obviously.
I
So
think it
yeah,
would evolve. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that would be fucking hilarious to me, and I might do something like that actually. Um, just because, just to do it. But no, like legit. I'm like, all right, hey, we're gonna have a Bigfoot outing in Tennessee. We're gonna have a Bigfoot outing in North Carolina, North Georgia. Yeah, all right. I'll bring the drone, and we'll see. Uh, Let me know when you start hearing whoops, and I'll put the drone in there and let you know what those whoops are.
Well, if we did something like that, hopefully it'd be a big group of people with good, honest, reputable people that we could experience something or get to the bottom of it. So
It won't be Bigfoot.
whatever it
What?
is, the
Yeah,
purple unicorn.
yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is that once they start reporting their whoops and all that shit, I put the drone in the air. What I'm saying is, I won't see a Bigfoot. There, there ain't gonna be a Bigfoot there because the odds of that happening are so extremely, like, off the charts bad. You know. Um. Yeah, dude. Yeah. This guy's been following me around lately. Um.
He'll be
How
your
the
pilot.
here's what I want to know. Like, there's a couple things about this dude. How the fuck did you get that YouTube handle? That's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty
that must have
sweet.
been years ago that he did that. Uh, he's saying, I'll be your what did he say? I'll be your pilot, Mr. Pat. I can fly anything, even a drone. Amen. Tom
Top gun
Cruise.
right there. Well, Pat, I appreciate you jumping on. I think it was a good discussion and stuff. Are you going to do any shows coming up? You got anything playing?
I have nothing planned, but I will be doing shows coming up, and it'll be along the same lines as I talked about tonight. Because
Awesome.
that's kind of where I'm at, you know.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Everyone who's not subscribed to Pat, subscribe to Pat at Squatch Talk. He also has a Facebook group. You can find him on there. Shoot him some questions and stuff.
True story. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, bud. All right,
Yeah.
I'll back out and let you wrap up. Thanks for having
All
me
right.
on. Thanks for having an open, honest discussion tonight. Like I appreciate that more than anything else in this world when it comes to Bigfoot, man. Anybody that's willing to be honest.
I appreciate you jumping on and giving your honesty too. So
Cool, man.
catch you later.
All right. Later, Taylor.
And everyone else, hopefully you guys enjoyed the program. And if you want to contact the Lost Cryptids Conservatory, you can do that at this email, my primary email right there, and at the Lost Cryptids Conservatory Facebook group, Facebook page. You can talk to, message me there, message me on my personal Facebook page. I'm always floating around. I think next week or the following week, another week or two, we will be dropping the links for the conference tickets that will go on sale. $30 at online tickets, $35 at the door. And I'm thinking August 31st in Mason, Michigan. Even though I didn't book it and stuff yet, I'm thinking that's the date, but I might have to change the date, and it depends on stuff. But I'm shooting for that. I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm excited and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I got some videos that are slowly being worked on. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do, but been working Sundays and stuff. So Sunday, tomorrow, I have off. Maybe I get some couple things done before I got other plans to do. Check out Nikki's show tomorrow on Sasquatch Secrets, the channel. She's going to have a show talking about why we demonize Bigfoot and stuff. I'm going to be listening to that. I don't know if I'll be in chat and all that. Usually I'm too busy and just listening. But I'll say hi. Going to be a pretty interesting show, and a future show kind of be similar to that on here. We're going to have a special guest to talk about kind of the Nephilim side of Bigfoot or wild man stories around the world from a non-Bigfoot kind of person who's, looking into Nephilim type of things and conspiracy like ideas and stuff when it comes to different cultures around the world, and maybe how, in his interpretation of wild men, Bigfoot are related to Nephilim in his opinion. So hopefully get him on, talk about that. I think it should be a pretty interesting show. Make sure you guys get ready to have questions for him. I don't think it's going to be next week. It's probably going to be the following week or whatever is best convenience for him. I, once again, appreciate everyone who took their time to watch this. May God bless each and every one of you and your families. And we will check back with you next week as we will be back live. So till then, stay out of trouble and enjoy yourself.